Hello, this is Camera Obscure. Some guys have all the pain, and some guys get all the pain.
Hello everyone, welcome to another stream! How y'all doing? I hope you're having a good one. Welcome to another Sovereign Citizen watch. This song's been stuck in my head. That's why it's playing right now. Let's take a look at the bits messages, and then we'll get into the SovCits. Rageology with 100 bits says, hello, I may have been a bit weird in the last Patreon stream. If so, apologies. I was in a bit of a mental health hole and didn't realize it. If you didn't notice anything, eat this message and pretend I didn't send it. I didn't notice. I thought it was fine. It's a good cover. I like this. I heard this song in a movie recently, and it's been stuck in my head. What movie did I hear this song in? The original Rod Stewart version. Where did I hear this? I can't think of it. Anyway, let's get into the Sovereign Citizens. How's everyone doing? We have a bunch of Australian Sovereign Citizens today because I found a channel that just documents Australian sovereign citizens?
Just want to produce a driver's license.
Oh, so I don't use a driver's license.
You don't use a driver's license. That's a pretty good reason to be pulled over.
Yeah.
Can I get you to state your full correct
I can show you though. I have this. This is what I use. This is my certificate of competency.
A certificate of competency? Who gave you that certificate? Because I feel like the government wants to make sure themselves that you're competent, thus the requirement for a driver's license. If just anyone could sign off that you're competent, we wouldn't need them in the first place. That's not the point. It needs to be centralized so the government knows you're safe to drive, at least relatively speaking.
Well, I require to produce a driver's license.
I don't drive, you see? So that's why I don't use a driver's license. I'm not required to have a driver's
He got him, guys. He literally just doesn't use the same word. That means he gets to break the law.
license.
What's your full name, sir?
So my name is James.
Your full name?
James the Traveller from...
James the Traveller. Ooh, sounds mysterious. You're not a Time Lord, you're just an asshole. Skifazoa says, same people that gave him the certificate that he doesn't have donkey brains. I understood that reference.
Your full name, sir?
That is my full name.
What's the name on your
James the Traveller.
license?
So I don't have a driver's license. I don't use a driver's license.
Okay, is this your vehicle?
This is mine, yes.
What name is this car registered
So
in?
this name is, it's registered in the legal fiction's name.
And who was that?
James.
James who?
Kinda sounds like that's probably your last name, whatever was bleeped out. Mr. Whiskers with 100 bits says, any relation to the Blues Traveller?
You went to the South Court Magistrate Court yesterday
Oh, Hype Train, 18% to level 1.
where you were disqualified.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a notice to appear again today for disqualified driving. Okay?
Okay, but I don't drive. I haven't been driving.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You're literally behind the wheel. We can see you. You're behind the wheel of the car now.
Put the car here.
No, I didn't drive here. I travelled here.
How he can't even buy this at this point, right? He knows he's just being an asshole. How could you be saying this and not understand the absurdity?
Did the car get here?
I moved it.
You
Yeah.
Humble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub.
moved it by controlling the controls of the car?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, that'll do. Now.
Yeah, I didn't drive it though. Driving is a commercial term.
Okay.
No, it's not.
If you do refer to the Black's Law Dictionary, you can find the
Black's Law Dictionary doesn't even apply to Australia. It's American. What are you talking about?
definition, and that's
Not that it matters anyway, because it's an outdated version of Black's Law from 100 years ago that he's citing, but still, it's even the wrong continent.
that you work under. That's the legislation.
All right,
And
that's
so,
right.
It's like when you hear American sovereign citizens cite the Magna Carta.
like if you're working as a taxi driver or a truck driver, when you're engaged in commerce, right, then you are a driver. But because I'm not doing that, then
Yeah, he's basically reading the US script. Yeah.
No, I'm traveling.
Okay.
That's the technical
All right,
terms.
well, look,
I do not have Bucket of Blood, and I've never seen it.
the nose to
Yeah.
review I'm going to give you.
I think the only Roger Corman movie I own is the Fantastic Four movie that I never officially released. I have a copy of it.
Is for driving, and you can explain to the magistrate you were travelling.
Okay, I'll write them a letter and sort it out.
50% to level 1 on the hype
For
train.
you to appear at the Caboolture Magistrates Court on the 6th of February next year.
Yep.
8:30 in the morning. The allegation is 12:47 p.m. today. Buchanan Road,
Yeah.
Morayfield. You're a disqualified driver.
Yep. Yep.
If you don't appear on that day, a warrant can be issued for your arrest.
Yep.
You need to be in a position on that day to issue either a plea of guilty or not guilty. So you need to get legal advice.
Oh my god, this is the guy! This is the guy we used to watch, but his Facebook and YouTube got banned. Remember, he lived in a van down by the river? He was the guy that would sit in his van and talk about how they have no authority over him. I forget his name, but we've seen this guy before. Roger Corman's Hot take. Roger Corman's unreleased Fantastic Four movie is the best live-action Fantastic Four project. I'm sorry, Jessica Alba. I'm sorry it's not your fault. But I'm telling you, the Roger Corman one's pretty good. Rageology, thanks for 100 bits. 62% to level 1 with a minute and a half left. And Logarth says, just wanted to share that when you started the stream, the notification on my phone said that you were streaming with 69 viewers. Nice. Mass Lunacy, thanks for 100 bits. How you doing? Mr. Whiskers says, if I'm not mistaken, the SovCit movement is a U.S. export to the rest of the Anglosphere. Yes. I believe it's known as the Freemen on the Land Elsewhere or something like that. Yes, in Canada and the UK, they're typically called Freemen of the Land, but it does originate from the United States Sovereign Citizen Movement, which itself is a derivation of an earlier United States sort of fringe movement called Posse Comitatus, which was a white supremacist group, and they eventually broke up, and they sort of, the diaspora of the members of the group across the country ended up spreading the sovereign citizen lore, so then it kind of became a free-range conspiracy as opposed to being a centralized cult doctrine, which arguably makes it scarier. Just ask Protestants. Hydrate. Evangelical ones, at least. Rageology, thanks for 100 bits. Barlock Moses with 1,000 bits says, hype! 63% to level 2. Tucker White with 34 months says, if there's a sub, there's porn of it. No exceptions. Dahlia Vianney with 50 bits says, here's the rest of my bits today. I get paid tomorrow, so can't get more or gift subs today, but I'm here lurking while I'm working. Well, I hope you get all of the entertainment and work goes by quick. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, so what you're saying is we do distribute freedom to the rest of the world. How much oil do they have? 63% to level 2.
Get some legal advice. You understand that you can't drive because the court's disqualified you?
Well, I don't understand anything.
They're not issuing a permit for you to move the
I agree with that. He doesn't understand anything. I believe that.
Why not?
Because they don't have to.
Well, but why though? Beyond that they don't have to. Why would they not?
They don't have to. I'm only here to do with the licence details.
Yeah, okay.
They're dealing with the registration events.
Yeah.
And they've chosen not to issue a permit for you to move the vehicle. So.
Oh, just what? Why though? But why have they chosen not to? Do you
I'm
know?
dealing
Or
with the licence events. They're dealing with the registration events.
okay.
So
who do you mean, Matt? That man there?
whoever issued the infringements for the registration.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is the one
was
you want to
his
talk to
channel?
about.
It was
Yeah.
like James something. James? There he is. Is his Facebook? Damn it, his Facebook's banned. Is his YouTube still up? No, this is a different guy named James who's a sovereign citizen. Let me go back and get his name and see if I can find his full page. James Bartolo. There's the motherfucker.
When I was
Found him. Saving. Conspiracy. No, SovCit. You can't get away from me, James. I'll make fun of you on the internet, and you can't stop it. Altered Undying says, I'm dying to know if you listened to the song Sorry for Being a Pest. If you like it, there is also one about Doctor Who. The band does all sci-fi properties-based metal songs. I apologize. Can you send it again? My ADHD brain made me not. So I apologize.
So they don't have
Minute and a half left on the hype train.
to give you a permit to move the car.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be standing here. We do things because we want to do them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he used to be into crypto too. This must just be a secondary channel of his, because he hasn't posted in a while. I'll still, you know, look at it, but... The James Bartlow conspiracy. Whew, boy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Conscious Truth Network. My name is James Bartolo.
My name is Josh Whiter, and this is the Conscious Truth Network.
I'm sorry, what? They have a goddamn channel now? Oh, there's a juggle command. By the way, I know the juggle balls make an annoying slappy noise. I'm not going to do it unless people do a juggle command. I understand yesterday I was doing it a lot. I'm sure that was annoying. I apologize. Nemesor Kolboth, thank you for saving the hype train with 10 tier 1 subs. Appreciate it. Take a look at that later, though.
Well, now, do you understand you cannot drive?
Well, I don't drive.
You're disqualified for a month?
Yeah. I don't drive, yeah.
He's
So
driving
that's why
now!
I'm trying to educate you about the
Scored at
technical
Vol, thanks
term
for
of
5
what
tier
I
1
haven't actually
subs.
been
I'm not
driving.
interested in...
The meds are still working. I still make mistakes, though, but they are working quite well.
in your theory about driving.
No, it's not
and
theory,
travelling.
it's fact. It's
Okay.
objective. Like,
Right.
if I'm going to speak in theory, I'll let you know. But this isn't theory.
If I'm gonna speak in theory, I'll let you know.
As a public servant,
A little condescending.
maintaining the peace, you'd want to be educated about what is truth and what is fiction.
Oh,
And
who
driving,
rated?
that is a commercial practice. Did you want to look it up? Look it up on your phone in Black's Law's dictionary right now.
Did you
Could
know
show
that-
you.
Ellen from now on, thank you for that huge raid of 250 people. I appreciate it. Wow, I'm Hannah. I am a leftist streamer. We talk about all sorts of stuff. Today we're watching Sovereign Citizens, who are basically people who don't think the law applies to them. Join the Discord. We're an awesome community, an LGBTQIA safe space. Please, hang around. It's a lot of fun. We have a great community. I can juggle, and they make me juggle with a juggle command, which is always fun. Are you impressed yet? God damn it, if this was vaudeville, you'd all be very impressed. The internet's ruined my ability to impress people. Hats off. Design 23, what do you want me to wear for the hats off? Discordant Vol says, it's been a while since I could catch you live. The weather is having a normal one, so I wanted to make sure I could participate before the power went out. Or whatever. Well, thank you very much. Heathen Child, thank you for gifting a sub.
Good Operations Road Use Management Act has its own dictionary.
Sure.
It defines
And
drive.
do you know the Criminal Code Act 1899 is a superior act to the Police Powers and Responsibility Act and the Road Transport Management
This
Use Act.
gentleman's name is James. We've covered him before. He believes that he's allowed to drive around Australia with no driver's license or insurance because he thinks the government doesn't have authority over him. And hey, like a little bit of anti-authoritarianism, I'm a leftist. I'm all for that shit. But like, he's not protesting. He's just like delusional and genuinely thinks he can tell the cop, I'm not driving, I'm traveling, and that means he doesn't have to have a driver's license. If you've never heard of the sovereign citizen thing, it's a crazy conspiracy theory. We cover a lot of conspiracy theories on this channel and debunk them and talk about what leads people to them. It's a lot of fun.
Because they
Okay.
deal with different offences.
Well, it's a higher code.
Whatever I want for the hat? Okay. What hat will I choose?
That's where they get their jurisdiction from.
I'll go with
But it
these.
still comes. The offences, the definition of offence is in the Criminal Code Act, and that is a superior piece of legislation. That is the code
Mate,
where.
I'm not going to...
Oh, it's just that you don't know this. You should know this stuff.
I'm not...
This is
2%
basic
to level
stuff.
6
negotiate with you
on the
about
hype train.
Oh, it's not
what is
negotiating.
offences.
It's just
I'm
discussing.
Also, hi, $27. How you
know
doing?
that you cannot
Yeah.
drive a car until your disqualification finishes.
Yeah, I don't drive.
Now, if you
no.
don't appear on that
No,
day,
no.
they can issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah,
You
I'll
understand
sort that out. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a huge raid. Let's find... Can I find, like... I like whenever we get raids, especially on Sovereign Citizen Day, to show people one of the most famous SovCit videos that kind of illustrates exactly what they are. Woo, we got a bunch of stuff. Black's Law Dictionary request. You'll have to tell me what you would like for that, if I can find the woman. There it is. This is a pretty famous one. This woman, again, thinks that the law doesn't apply to her. To be clear, we're leftists here. I'm not siding with the cops. I'm not saying cops are good or effective. What I am saying is these people have a misunderstanding of how the law works, and it gets them in trouble with the law. Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub. What did you want for the Black's Law Dictionary request, Wabbajack? And a hydrate.
But we told you he's an Article 4 free inhabitant, so he does not have to have a license. This is on recording. Article 4, free inhabitant, pursuant to the Articles of Confederation. You can look it up. It's in
She's an American citing the Articles of Confederation. For those who don't know, the Articles of Confederation stopped applying to the United States in 1789 when the Constitution was ratified and got rid of the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation were the legal document for the United States when we were trying to be a more loose sort of confederation of states. We realized that didn't work pretty quick, so then they came to the Constitution, which gave more federal power. So she's citing a document that has not been relevant legally for like 200 years.
in the United States Book of Codes. It is your law.
Offense you'd like me to look up. Discordant Vol says, also I just had dinner, impossible spicy sausage with a combination of mustard and Trinidad scorpion pepper hot sauce. So good. I'm glad it was good. I will take a look at that definition.
Laws you have to follow.
All right, I will do that. I'll walk you back here.
Article 4, free inhabitant, pursuant to the Articles of Confederation.
Put the camera down for me. Is that if it records, that's fine. But I don't want you holding anything.
No weapons, no weapons. All right, no.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the same thing.
And get out of the car?
Yes.
No, I'm not getting out of the car.
All
You
right.
can go get your superior.
Well, I am going to tow this car, and you cannot be in the vehicle while I'm towing this vehicle.
Drop the mic. Thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. So appreciated. And Discordant Vol says Babs Bunny just got pulled over.
Well, if you go get your superior,
That's
he'll
not gonna happen
clarify
right now.
that he can be set free because he does
No
not have to
It's
have
not
a
going to
license.
happen right now, young lady. So either you're going to come out of the car on your own free will, or I'm going to assist you.
I'm going to get out of the car and walk down to that house.
No, you are not free to leave right now.
Are you saying you have authority over me?
Yes, I do.
You have proof.
He does, legally speaking. He absolutely does. Someone asked for offense from Black's Law Dictionary. Offense. If I can find the actual entry. I know it's on this goddamn page. Oh, it's on the page before. Wow, there's a lot of entries for offense. Makes sense. Offense, a violation of the law. A crime, often a minor one. See crime.
Proven authority over me.
Yes, I do.
Are we gonna do a maid outfit tomorrow? Raiders, when we get to level 10 hype trains, I put on a maid outfit. So I'm sorry you had to find out I have so little respect for myself this way, but might as well come right out with it. You'll find out eventually.
How did you do that?
The County of Imperial through the sheriff.
You do not have authority over a human being,
All right,
over
well,
a free
you know what?
inhabitant.
Do you want to?
Legally he does, in this scenario, because you don't have insurance, or a license plate, or a driver's license. So, like, they're gonna tow the car.
Argue the point?
You need to go look up your
I don't
laws.
have to look at anything right now. What I need to do is get you out of the vehicle. If you have identification, please hand the identification over to me.
No.
Identify yourself to me.
And I'm not going to step out of the vehicle.
All right, well, you know, you are impeding my investigation. You are delaying me, which is a penal code violation in the state of California.
Galaxy Rule says chat promises to still respect you in the morning. I'm kind of more into it if you don't. Overthought, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Discordant Vol, thanks for 200 bits.
That law only
40.
applies to U.S. citizens.
Well, where are you a citizen of?
I am not a U.S. citizen.
Well, see, that's
I
where
am
you're
a free
mistaken.
inhabitant. I am of
That's
the
where
earth. I do not belong to any corporation. I do
That's-
not belong to any country.
Yeah, but as
No.
long-
They also have a tendency to believe that the United States and other countries are private for-profit corporations, which is not true. Cladams707, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Oh my god, 44% to level 8.
As long as you're in the sovereign states of the United States, you will abide by the rules
No.
and laws.
See,
and you have certain protection.
a free inhabitant is they are allowed to. They're free people. They have all of the rights of a U.S. citizen without following any of their laws.
I love that she says this because this is something that's implicit in basically all sovereign citizen ideology, but they never outright say it because of how damning and selfish it is at face value to say. To say, I want all the rights that are provided me by society, but I don't believe there are any responsibilities that go along with it. That's not how things work. In the social contract, at least when it functions correctly, you have rights, and you also have obligations to society. So we all can live together because we're a social species, right? You can't just decide that you get all the rights but the laws don't apply to you. You don't get to step over everyone else's feet and not expect people to step over yours. This only works if we all kind of agree, hey, let's kind of not be assholes.
Well, that would just be pure anarchy if that were the case.
No, because
So I'm
we're
gonna have
peaceful
you step
people.
out of the
We're
vehicle
peaceful
for me, please.
people. You go call them up and ask them, and they'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know who to call.
Your superior.
Well, I am a superior to a certain extent.
So call your superior.
Well, it's going to take a couple hours or so for somebody to come down.
Well, just
and that's
call
not going to
them.
happen right now.
Well, then we're gonna have to solve it some other way.
Like she's arguing with a cashier at McDonald's. Like she has, that's the level of like seriousness she's taking this. Maybe it's just because I'm trans. I don't know. I'm afraid of the police. The police scare me. I would not talk back to the police, not because I respect them, but because I fear what they can do to me. I do not understand the level of like, I'm immune from all responsibility and consequences to be this way. Like, it's like a bear, right? I don't want a bear to attack me, so I don't fuck with a bear. A cop is kind of like a wild bear. God damn it. Terradona gives, or no, sorry. KR Goss gives $44, which means we hit $100, which means tomorrow will be a maid outfit day. Unless you want it now, I guess. KR Goss, you can decide. We're already half an hour into the stream. Normally I do it the next day, but we're pretty early in the stream. So KR Goss, you can decide, do you want it today or full stream tomorrow? Terradona with 100 bits says, for the train, Paz Daniel Spion. Thanks for 200 bits. Unicorn Now. Thanks for the subscription. Yeah, if you get to level 10, you'll get today and tomorrow. Because that's unfortunately how that works. Today, god damn it.
Alright.
We just...
Baja, is there any chance that you would, come up here while I change into the maid outfit?
need to...
Baja's my wife for the, Raiders. She comes up and entertains people while I'm busy putting on my humiliation outfit. First name, bunch of numbers. Thanks for gifting a sub.
You need to call in.
Minute left on the hype train.
Tell them I'm a free inhabitant and find out what that is.
Well, I am going to tow this vehicle, young lady, so you cannot be in this vehicle.
Baja can't juggle. I've tried teaching her. It's a work in progress. She has to practice.
I understand that. So alright, then I'm gonna get out of the vehicle and I'm going to walk down to that house
No, you're
because
not.
you do not have
No,
authority
you're
over
not.
me. Well, then I'm not getting out of the vehicle.
No, you're not.
Why?
You're not free to leave.
Why?
As soon as I conclude the rest of my investigation, you will be free to leave. As far
I know, you have small hands. You have small hands. I'm not saying it's your fault.
as I know, you have not done anything wrong at this point. But
Alright. Be entertained by my wife while I put on the maid outfit. 20 seconds left to level 8. Looks like I only have to wear it today, which is nice. Be right back.
Hello, everyone. Alright, let's look at some of the things that are happening.
First name bunch of numbers, thanks for gifting a sub to Galaxy Rule. And Vast Lunacy, thank you for the 200 bits, which I assume are for me. How are you all doing? Is everyone good? Buttershave, thank you for the 50 bits. You know, this isn't even my stream. I can just absolutely refuse to say that. But fine. My wife, dislike. Jatara with 50 bits, praise Paul. I don't even know if I understand the praise Paul thing. I might have not been here for that stream. The Carpcosian, good luck with your surgery. I'm very happy for you. I'm sure that Hannah would be very jealous.
But you are slowly
Let's
reaching
okay,
that
let's-
point
you know what?
with 148
Listening to-
PC.
I'll get out of the vehicle for you. I will get out of the
This.
vehicle. I'm getting mama.
All right, well, you're not free to leave.
Discordant Bowl, I'm busy this week because lab is understaffed, hoping to play some Call of Cthulhu tonight. Well, I hope that you get to play some.
You're going to take the bag off.
No, I'm
You're going
not.
to take the bag off.
No, I'm not.
Relax your...
Hey! You're raping me! This is rape! This is rape! This is rape!
Relax.
Okay,
Relax your arms.
it's relaxed.
Stop fighting with
It's
me.
relaxed.
Stop fighting with me. Stop fighting.
All right? I'm not.
Screaming at the Radio asked me how my PhD is going. I wrote a draft of my first chapter. Second chapter is done. And I'm trying to finish up experiments for my third chapter. But we'll see. My committee hasn't been very happy with things, so who knows if I'll get the PhD.
Put my cat ears.
I heard him jingle over here.
Thank you. I can take my place once again at the seat of Throne Reloaded.
But I'm comfy now.
That's a shame.
Ashley One Up says, would you change your username to Dr. Baha? Nah, probably not. What are you looking for, love?
I was seeing if those gloves were around.
I don't think so.
Alright, I'll look for them later. Thank you. Love you. Don't forget to leave the horns. Thanks, honey. Love you. All right, I'm back. You happy? All right, did I miss anything? Discordant Vol says I'm busy this week because the lab is understaffed, hoping to play some Call of Cthulhu tonight. You read them? Awesome. Perfect. Well, I don't know. I'm just checking. All right. Back to the videos. Sorry for the interruption.
Not fighting.
Center 256. I got a combative X-ray.
Here, I'm lifting my arm up. I'm lifting my arm
your
up.
arm right
It
there.
hurt. Okay, I told you what I was doing.
This is pain compliance, okay? It's not meant to be comfortable.
This is
Do I have your
illegal.
attention?
This is completely illegal.
Let go.
No! Take my bag off!
I can't.
You're not putting me in the car. You can wait till you get to Superior. You are not taking my bag off. You can handcuff me with my bag on.
You're right. I will. Relax.
I'm relaxed. Don't touch my bag!
You get it. She gets arrested. So that's basically what a SovCit is.
What that is.
No.
So if you make a false arrest or if there's damage or if you have an accident,
Yep.
they claim that on that.
Nobody's
on that.
under arrest at this point in time.
I didn't say there was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have an indemnity insurance.
Okay, and a business card?
Pardon?
And a business card?
I don't have a business card. I can write my
Okay.
name and details down for you if you
Okay,
like.
no worries.
You're more than welcome to have that.
Right.
But I don't carry business cards, no.
Yeah. Are you under oath as you conducting this investigation or whatever it is?
I'm not under an oath, no.
You're not under an oath?
Not under an oath currently. Under an oath
As a constable?
As in like
As a
court,
constable?
As in a court of law.
Constable.
I'm a senior constable of police,
Yeah, so are you under oath?
Yep, so I work for the government, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm here intercepting you on a Victorian road.
So you're not under oath?
I've not stated that. I've not answered your question. Would you like me to finish or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm intercepting your vehicle,
Mhm.
okay, because you're driving a Victorian vehicle on a Victorian road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you haven't said what for. And so you're not under oath as a constable, then you're
answering that for me.
Okay, so you're not going to answer that.
They'll regularly ask if people have taken oaths. The long and short of it is that in the United States, their interpretation of the Constitution, they think, means that they don't have to have a driver's license because they think it's unconstitutional. Legally, it is not. This has been tested by the courts multiple times. But they think that their interpretation of the Constitution is the correct one, so they ignore Supreme Court rulings. Anyway, so they say, well, you can't do anything to me because you took an oath to the Constitution, and I think the Constitution says I don't have to have a driver's license or license plate or registration or insurance or anything like that. That's not true. It doesn't work in America, and it certainly doesn't work in Australia.
Okay. Would you know under public office you have to answer that under the Criminal Code?
We're sworn in
Act.
under an oath or affirmation, depending
An
what you
oath
choose.
under a constable.
Yeah, so
An oath. Are you under oath?
Yeah, I'm sworn under an oath, but he might be sworn in under an
Okay.
affirmation.
Do you recite
There's no
that?
requirement for me to answer that. You understand that, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Which is why
yes, it is under a public office. It is a requirement.
I'm not here to have an argument with you.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you.
What I'm informing you is
so if you're not
How did it feel, Baha? Good?
under oath, so are you policing by consent or by force?
Why am I forcing you?
No, I'm asking you.
Policing by consent effectively means that the cops can only arrest you if you want them to. Which wouldn't work, because no one wants to be arrested for the most part. So, like, why would anyone be in jail?
Okay. Why would I bother answering that question to appease you today?
Because I'm asking you, and
That's right.
if you're in public office, you have to answer that question.
No.
Yes,
There's
you
no
do.
requirement
Yes,
for me
you
to
do.
answer any questions. No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Okay, unfortunately,
so,
you're incorrect.
well then you are with the Victorian government, so then you're operating under your ABN number as a corporation and the police. Is that right?
You seem to know more than I do.
They're simple questions. So I'm not arguing with you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, but I'm trying to have a
just
conversation with you.
I'm just trying to determine the jurisdiction here.
Yeah, no worries. So it's Victorian law.
So you pulled me over.
Yep,
so
correct.
You've detained me, or I'm
You're
under
not
arrest.
detained, no.
Okay, then I'm free to go.
No, at this point you're being questioned.
So
Okay.
I'm not free to go.
At this point you are detained for the purpose
So
of
I'm under arrest.
No.
Well, then I'm free
Would
to
you
go.
like to put words in my mouth,
No,
or
I'm
would
not,
you
but
like me to answer your question?
Well, then I'm free to go then.
Okay, so what I'm telling you, and I would like you to please listen to me.
Like, a traffic stop is a word game, and if you find the right password, they'll let you go.
Okay, at this point in time, you're detained for the purpose of a traffic stop. Okay, do you understand the difference between detained and arrest? Arrest means that I revoke your human rights. Okay, detained means that we're here to ascertain what has occurred. Okay, and what I'm saying to you today is that what has occurred, and what I believe that occurred, and my partner has observed, is that you were unfortunately travelling without your seatbelt today.
No.
Okay, so what is your reason for travelling without a seatbelt today?
Oh, I had my seatbelt on.
No worries at all. You're receiving infringement notice in the mail for failing to wear a seatbelt, okay?
Do your best.
Okay, do you...
Do your best? What does that even mean?
I don't consent to any of this.
Yep, so
that you know.
That's right, that's no worries, but I've still got to go through the process. I understand that you're not going to want to consent. That's completely fine.
Okay.
That's no worries. There
Okay.
are further tickets and infringements and things that may come as a penalty of it. However, we do have to go through the process, and I'll be as polite to you as I possibly can.
No worries.
All right. Now, so you don't hold a driver's license in your property, in your presence at the moment, but you do currently hold a
I have
Victorian
one.
driver's license. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I have a, yeah, I do.
No worries. What are your details, if that's right? Just your name and date of birth.
What do I have to get that to you for?
Yep,
so am I under obligation to give you that license?
So you're provided to give me your
By
name,
law?
name and address.
By law?
Name and-
Generally, I don't know how it works specifically in Australia, but in the United States, you are required in all 50 states to show a cop your driver's license if you're operating a motor vehicle and you're stopped. Discordant Vol says, I wish to engage you in a battle of wits, officer. Failing that, a fiddle contest.
Name and address, yes.
Can you cite that law for me, please?
Yep, so it's the...
I've listened to enough Charlie Daniels. I think I'm prepared. I've never held a violin in my life, but I'm pretty sure you just, like, do this, and you think about moonshine, and the music just comes out.
Offences Act, which is 458.
Act, it's not law.
Yeah.
So do you agree, you agree I'm a man?
I don't know. I'm not going to assume your gender, sir.
I think you can tell. A man, as in mankind.
I can't
mankind.
assume your gender. I can't assume your gender. I apologise.
You're right.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm an 80-year-old lady.
Have I heard about Grafton, New Hampshire? It's a town where these kind of people took over. It went badly. That wasn't the Bear town, was it? Was that the Bear City? Hydrate. Or was that a different libertarian nightmare?
You agree I'm a man.
I don't know what you identify
a
as.
living man. I'm alive.
Okay, here's the plan. We just turned Florida into an escape from New York style prison, and we rename it Galt's Gulch, and the capital will be named Randtopia, and we take all the libertarian types and they can all go live in Florida, and everyone else moves out, and then we lock the peninsula as soon as the last one's in. Okay? Good plan.
Am I alive?
That you're alive, yes.
Am I alive? Okay.
Yeah, I fully agree that you're alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So living man is
You're
in
present,
mankind.
You're present in body and mind.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
I fully agree.
haven't stipulated.
Mr. Whisker says, please no, the manatees don't deserve that. Surly Dev, thanks for following.
To me that law.
And everyone else who followed from the raid. There was a bunch of them, so I didn't list them all, but I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome.
I have to give you my license.
Yeah,
Show you my
so it's the
license.
Summary Offences Act.
What happens when the president's escape pod goes down in Florida? I know a guy for that.
Act is
Okay.
not a law.
He was in The Thing.
Okay, but an act gives you an obligation
We'll probably have to poke out his eye for verisimilitude.
where you have to provide me your name and address.
No, not only if I've contracted with you. I haven't contracted with you.
Can
you show me
get a
the
little-
contract?
Can I get a little bit more?
Yeah, sure.
So, failing to provide your name and address, okay, is a further offence, and until I can basically ensure your appearance at court, okay, we'll have to continue further on from there.
Can you cite that law, please?
Yep, I've told you it's a Summary Offences Act.
Act is not a law.
Okay. So are you refusing to give your name and address?
So you said that
Wilford Brimley, yep. They wanted to become us! Smashes computer.
Give your name and address,
Listen-
sir.
listen to me,
Sir,
listen to me.
please, I'm asking you one simple question.
No,
Are you
I'm
refusing-
asking you to cite the law.
What's your
I'm not
address? Sir, I reside in my body.
refusing anything.
Okay,
I'm asking
well
you to show
I've heard that one before.
me the contract. Show me the contract that I've signed that I've waived my rights to you.
You haven't
I'm not.
waived-
They also seem to think that if you don't officially sign a legal contract with the government, then they have no ability to prosecute you. This is not true.
refusing anything. Well, I'm not refusing anything.
Okay then, so are you...
I'm not refusing anything, as I refuse to do any of the things you're asking. KBS 666 says Grafton was taken over by the libertarians, but then the sex offenders moved in. Crime went up, the libertarians started suing each other, and there were several murders. The locals voted the libertarians out in 2016. I'm sure next time unbridled free markets will save us. That must have been a fluke.
willing
So
to
am
provide me your
I
name
am
and
not
address?
obliged
Are you
by
willing to
law
provide
to
me
give
your name
you.
and address verbally or not?
My name's Dave.
Yep, and your last name, Dave?
Trust.
Trust. Is that David or D-A-V-E?
Either way.
His name isn't actually David Trust. His last name is something else, but he thinks by calling it a trust that it's a... basically they think that there's a legal fiction version of you that exists as some sort of trust, and that's what the government uses to have authority over you. It's nonsense. They have authority over you because they're the government in the local area, and governments have a monopoly on state-sanctioned violence. Like, it just is what it is. That's how society works.
Well, what do you go by?
Dave. Name's Dave.
It's America, not the 9 hells.
Trust, how do I spell that?
The way it's spelled.
When politeness to you.
The way you spell it, the way
trust?
it's spelled.
Well, it depends on how you spell it.
Well, you could spell Dave. It's spelled trust as in that way it's normally spelled.
Okay, well, we unfortunately deal with a lot of different people with a lot of different spelling.
Yeah.
So in politeness to you and myself, so I can get your name correct.
From the trust.
Yeah?
The trust, David Trust.
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay.
Obviously, And your current address, David?
I'm not going to give you any more information.
So you're
about
obliged
that.
to provide your
No,
name
I'm
and
not.
address.
You haven't cited the law.
You
I'm
are.
obliged.
You
I'm
are
not obliged.
Under 458.
Act is not a law.
Yeah, so you are
Act's not a law.
obliged to provide.
Why are they using an argument based on a misunderstanding of U.S. law outside of the U.S.? I make fun of this, but they do actually have an internal reason for this usually. It's a stupid, nonsensical reason, but it is a reason. They think that every country, or most countries, definitely the Anglosphere, they think is under the control of the United States secretly. The United States private corporation that they think exists. So they think that the rules of America also apply to, like, Australia, the UK, Canada. It's interesting because they're clearly noticing, like, United States homogeneity and its power around the world, you know? But they don't understand it for what it is. It's soft power a lot of the time, or implied military power, financial power that has led to the US being like a cultural juggernaut and exporting lots of ideas to other countries. It's not an official corporation that forces other people necessarily, though the United States certainly coerces its allies. I'm not saying they don't. It's just not nearly as formal as these people tend to point out or think that it works.
So I want to see the contract that I've signed waived my
If
rights.
you're going to fail to provide me your details, okay, we're going to have to arrest you so we can ascertain your identity. And I don't want to do that.
You have no right to arrest me unless you can provide the crime I've committed.
I can because you're
No.
failing under the summary
under the
offences
Constitution.
Act.
No.
I would like I'd like you to listen to me, please. David, so if you fail to provide me your name and address, you don't have to provide anything else. Okay, name and address is the obligation of you.
I'm not under any
if we
obligation to
believe that
provide
you have
that to you.
committed a summary offence. Okay, our requirement is to fulfil that you are going to go to court. Okay, to go to court, we need to identify you. All right, to identify
I don't
you.
consent.
I'm probably not a very good maid. I hiked my skirt up because it's hot in here.
That you need to require, that you need to provide,
This fabric does not breathe, Chad, I'm telling you.
is that you need to provide me your name and your address. That's all you have to
No,
provide.
I'm not under obligation. You haven't cited it right.
Failing to provide your name and address, okay, I can't ensure your appearance
I'm wearing shorts underneath it for the record.
in court, and therefore I need to detain you or arrest you for the purpose of identifying you.
False arrest, and you'll be under false arrest. And
It's not
my
false.
lawyer, it is false arrest because there needs to be a
I've
crime.
explained the
There's
reason.
no crime. There's no law. I
I'm
haven't
stating
committed
that
a crime.
We've observed you without your
That's a
seatbelt
crime.
on.
That's a crime, is it?
It's a summary offence, yes.
No. Is it a crime?
It's a summary offence.
Is it
yes.
a crime?
It's a
So it's
summary
not a
offence,
crime.
yes.
So you've
You'll
agreed
decide
on
it's
the law.
not.
It seems like a lot of these people are immune from the concept that there are different kinds of laws. Like in the United States, the blanket thing would be something as illegal, but there are criminal offenses that are crimes, there are civil offenses, and then there are things like traffic offenses. These are all things that are illegal, but they're not all, in the specific technical definition, crimes? So often they'll, like, get hung up on the term crimes as if crime is the only kind of law. There's criminal law, there's civil law, there's other things. You're sending me some nifty Star Trek stuff, thank you. Here's my P.O. box if anyone needs it to send me anything. Legal and safe. Legal, safe, and not a nuisance. Want to send it to me? There's the P.O. box. Black's Law Dictionary request. Reno Redhead, what do you want me to look up? Oh, flatulence. That's almost certainly not going to be in there, but I'll look.
Right.
crime. I'm telling you it's a summary.
They haven't
offence.
shown me the line. You haven't shown me the
Haven't
contract.
showed you a
that I'm-
line.
Huh?
Haven't showed you a line. Are you nervous?
Why would I be nervous, mate?
Well, you seem to be stuttering your words a little bit.
Could be a
Well, you
tinfoil
haven't-
made
you haven't come-
outfit.
you haven't
Oh, that's
given
some
me the law, you
fetish
haven't given
shit.
me information.
Alright.
You haven't.
That is 100% some fetish shit right there. I understand. I know what I'm wearing. I'm not oblivious. I'm just saying I feel like this is another level of fetish. Whatever this material is. Like, this is one level of... Okay, this is one level of fetish. The cat ears are probably level 2. This is like level 3. What the fuck is this? I feel like it's just that material, so it's easy to wipe off. What is my fucking problem?
You can't arrest me for no crime.
I can until
No, you can't.
If I
Under the
identify
Constitution, you
If
can't.
I can identify you,
No,
then
you can't do
you're
it.
free to go. That's no worries at all. But until you can identify...
I gave you my name. My name is Dave.
Correct, but your obligation is to provide your name and address.
I don't need to.
That's your
I don't
obligation.
need to. It's not my obligation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You haven't cited the law.
You're
I
more than
haven't,
welcome-
and
you
I
have your
haven't
mobile
refused
phone
anything.
there. Your mobile phone is there. You're more than welcome to look up the Summary Offences Act. Go for it.
Act is
I'll
not
wait
law.
here.
Show me that. Can you show me the proclamation certificate that changed that act
No, I
to
cannot.
law? Well, there you go. So how are you going to...
Acts are laws. We don't have that. How about this, though? Trying to find something interesting. There's not a ton of interesting ones on this page. Force majeure, an event or effect that can be neither anticipated nor controlled. The term includes both acts of nature, e.g. floods and hurricanes, and acts of people, e.g. riots, strikes, and wars. Also known as an act of God.
do that in court? How are you going to arrest me?
Okay, I'm not
You haven't
arresting
shown-
you for the purpose of the...
You said you're going to arrest me without a crime.
If you're going to continue to speak over me, okay, this is just going to go back...
Tit window isn't level 3. Tits in and of themselves are not a fetish.
forth and back
You
and
could have a boob fetish, but I think in general, like, a lot of people are into boobs and it's not a fetish, you know? It's like saying you have an ass fetish. I don't know. It just seems like that's pretty typical.
I'm trying to be of as much assistance to you as I possibly can. Alright?
Though I do get it. In the United States, we sexualize breasts beyond what is typical, I would say.
We have ascertained that you were not wearing a seatbelt today.
Ass window when? Believe me, I would. My ass is better than my boobs.
It's quite simple.
But, alas, here on Twitch, they just aren't ready for the ass cleavage.
Okay? Both myself and my
You
offside
haven't
saw
ascertained
you.
anything.
Yes, we
No,
have.
you haven't. You've pulled me over and you've guessed it without any proof.
There was no guessing. We
I
drove
had a
directly past
seatbelt
you.
on. Where's
We
your
drove
proof?
directly
Where's your
past
proof?
you. In my observation of the proof.
Your observation. So hearsay. So you just
Hearsay, it's not
arbitrarily,
hearsay. It's not hearsay.
arbitrarily
Do you
making that up.
understand the words hearsay?
Are you arbitrarily making that up?
I would not know how to use the word arbitrarily in a sentence.
You just tried to correct me if you're like.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I don't know how to
arbitrarily means that you make it up. You're just making stuff up as you go.
No,
Based on
definitely
no
not.
law.
Observed by my eyes.
Prove it.
Yeah.
You can't give me the law. You can't give me the contract, and you can't.
Argonian Bum says, I can't imagine a comfortable way to have your ass up to the webcam all stream. That's why we get ass cam.
Prove I have wearing a seatbelt, and you're going to arrest
Ass
me.
cam.
No,
Ass
not
cam.
for that purpose. Okay?
Oh, for not showing you, for not giving me my license.
No,
Not
not
giving
for
me my
that
name.
purpose. No,
So
you
it's a
give me
crime
name.
to not give you
No.
my name.
In this particular context, yes.
It's a crime for you, okay? So basically, if you fail to provide your name and address, that's the issue.
It's not a crime, though.
Okay, under the summary...
Cassifel, how you doing? Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, Raiders. As you can see, we got the maid outfit. How's it going, everyone? Hope you had a good stream. If you haven't, check out Cassifel, a wonderful little goblin that does all sorts of art. 23-hour stream, goddamn! Good for you! Hope it went well. Make sure you follow Cassifel. Very cool. Done lots of art for the stream.
Offences, okay,
No
under
crime.
458.
No crime, it'll be
Yeah,
false
so you're,
arrest if you
you're
do that.
required to provide it to us.
False arrest if you
Take a nap.
do that.
Take
Okay,
a little goblin nap.
That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
So I'm under arrest
Not at
for
this
not
point in
giving
time.
you my name that I'm not
Not
obliged
at
to
this
do.
point. I'm not. At not one point have I told you you're under arrest.
You just said if I didn't give you my name, I would be placed under arrest.
There's a possibility.
Correct.
Yeah.
No,
Always.
no, there's no possibility. You're either breaking the law or you're not. There's no possibility.
He has discretion. What he's saying is if you don't do this, he will arrest you, but he's giving you a chance to reconsider your position on it because he'd probably rather not deal with paperwork and actually arresting you.
I'm giving you all opportunities to provide me the correct details that you're obliged to provide.
You can fine me for whatever you think I've done. You can fine me.
Oh god, that's true, Harold Elberman. That's crazy.
Okay, so you have no right under the Constitution to arrest me without conviction.
No, I'm pretty sure they do. Medication time. Jitara says, SovCits seem to treat police knowing their name in the same thing as someone knowing the true name of a demon. I know your name, it's Rumpelstiltskin. No, the child was mine. It's my Rumpelstiltskin impression. Is it any good?
Your name today?
7 out of 10. Okay. If anyone's looking for a community theater, 3 out of 10. God damn! Why are your standards so high for some sort of like troll being?
Probably is.
Yeah. Just want to know, is the vehicle registered?
What's your bar for Rumpelstiltskin where I'm getting a 3 out of 10? The 7 out of 10 I can take criticism. What I won't take is slander, and 3 out of 10 is slander.
This gentleman's name? David. Yeah.
Libel. It's in print.
Yeah, do you want to bring, have you got that there?
And also, I'm not on a vehicle. I'm travelling in a car. Okay. I'm a free man in a free country, as you have just stated. I'm a man.
I understand.
Okay, so if you show me the law,
I haven't said you're a man. You're about to identify.
You said I was a man. You said that I've got it on camera. You said I was a man.
I stated that you're a human.
No, you didn't. You said man, as in mankind. Traveling freely.
They think that there's a difference between like a person and a human and a man or woman. It's a whole thing.
Free man in a free country.
Correct. 10 McKenna Place in Warrnambool, is that correct?
Why can't we get this level of professionalism from the police in the U.S.? Probably because the police in the U.S. are a bunch of high school bullies that could only get jobs at the police department? I don't know.
Say whatever you say.
The whole training system and culture of policing in the U.S. is completely fucked. It's going to take decades to even try and disentangle it. And that's assuming that certain police departments will be okay with it. Most of them, I would imagine, aren't.
I don't have to give you that. There's no need for you to know that. It's irrelevant. Where I live is irrelevant.
Okay. All right. No worries, Dave.
No, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you have you smirking at me. You're trying to intimidate me here with your guns. You got another person rolling up here with your guns, trying to intimidate me and threatening to arrest me for, you think, arbitrarily making up that I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
If he thinks the presence of guns is threatening, he would hate the United States. I don't even disagree. It's funny to hear someone be like, "There are guns. I'm threatened."
No way did I.
Yeah, I feel you.
I used it arbitrarily. I couldn't use it in a sentence.
Well, you're making it up.
Even police sniffer dogs' attitudes are different in the U.S. Oh, the dog thing is bullshit. Such bullshit.
You're making it up.
No worries, David. Well, we've got your name and your address, so I'm satisfied that we've got your identity.
Right, mate. Send it away. Thank you.
Well, there's another one. Let's get away from maybe the Australian ones for a bit. We've been doing a lot of them. Ooh, this one was bad. This was I believe a DUI. Sovereign citizens with DUIs. And this is one of the reasons, I'm sure that some people, I've heard some SovCits be like, well, what's the issue? Even if I don't have a license or whatever, I'm fine, I'm not driving unsafely. The problem is, when you think laws don't apply to you, you think no laws apply to you, even ones that you might consider benign. But then it gets to the point where maybe you think it's okay to drink and drive. It's not. Don't drink and drive, you absolute assholes. Discordant Vol says, don't get me started on police dogs, just an uncontrollable vice of teeth trained to hate anything not in uniform. Feel bad for those dogs.
March 11th, 2023, an officer in Ohio spots a silver car traveling north on Reed Hartman Highway towards Lake Forest Drive at a high speed. Catching up with the vehicle at the intersection, the officer notices dark tinted windows and a marked lane violation. The decision is made to pull over the driver, Noah Carpenter, in a silver Ford Mustang with a Kentucky license plate, in the parking lot of the Extended Stay Hotel on Creek Road.
Hello.
How you doing? Hydrate.
Good, I'm Officer Owens Blash Police Department. The reason I'm stopping is your speed. Speed?
We should switch to police cats. That's true. I don't think a cat would narc. Cats aren't narcs. They just want food. Lily Lovestuff says, my mother is having issues with her neighbor over property lines, and the cops that they sent out to her house were two of my brother's friends. They all graduated from high school last year. Well, that anecdote certainly lines up what I just said. It's all accepted at face value.
Yes, sir.
At least I'm honest about it.
For what? Like coming on the turn?
Coming up Reed Hartman Highway from Glendale, Milford.
What was my speed then?
That was greater than 40.
Greater than 40?
Yes, sir. You got your
had
driver's...
a speedometer? You got me clocked?
I don't need to have you clocked.
No, you gotta have me...
Sir.
I hate getting clocked.
Do you have your driver's license?
It's a trans joke.
No, you gotta have me clocked.
I do not, sir.
Yes, you do.
Sir, I'm not going to argue with you.
You have to have me clocked.
Sir, I'm not going to argue with you.
If you do not have evidence that you have me clocked at 40, then you cannot pull me over.
Copy. You have your driver's license, proof of insurance on you, sir?
If you do not have me clocked at 40, you cannot pull me over.
Do you have your driver's license on you?
If you do not have me clocked at 40, you cannot pull me over.
Okay, sir. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you on the side of the road.
That's okay.
All right. This is a traffic stop.
That's okay.
Are you going to produce a driver's license?
That's okay. No.
You're not going to give me a driver's license? Okay. That's fine. Well, just hang tight right there.
You do not have a right to pull me over.
Okay.
If you do not have me clocked at 40 when I wasn't going over 40.
Okay.
So.
Why don't you have a drink tonight?
I can't imagine arguing, like, in person, you shouldn't argue with the cops. If you think they're wrong, argue in court. Genuinely, go to court, get a lawyer if you can afford it. If not, just do your best, because usually you're not provided representation in traffic court. But, you know, there are ways you can conceivably get out of a ticket. But, like, especially if you're drunk driving, you think drunk you is gonna successfully argue with a cop? Sober people can't argue with cops. What are you doing?
Besides the open container.
It's almost like his judgment is impaired. I wonder why.
Center console.
Does he straight up oh my fuck, it's not, oh, this fucking idiot. I was under the impression that he had, like, drank somewhere else and then got in the car and driven. I didn't realize that he literally had a beer in his car that he was currently drinking. Fucking hell. My uncle did that. My uncle drove in the car with me while drinking beer. It's fucking disgusting. It made me uncomfortable. He did that with his son in the car, too. He's a big piece of shit.
How much have you had to drink tonight, sir?
Because an infraction saying I'm going over 40 and you don't have evidence that I'm going over 40. So unless you want to pull your body cam footage.
Okay. So you're refusing
so am I detained?
Absolutely, you're detained. You are not free to go. Yes, sir.
I'm not free to go.
You are not.
What am I detained on?
Sir, I've already explained it to you.
What am I detained on?
Sir.
What am I detained on?
I've explained it to you.
What am I detained on? What am I detained on?
Sir, I'm not going to go round and round with you.
Okay, then I'm free to go.
Your dad does that all the time. He goes to the brewery to have some beer and then has one on the way home. Oh, fucking yikes. That is not okay. I don't think this is probably going to hell. Oh. Traverse City is apparently the cocaine capital of the U.S. Who wants to go to Traverse City? Okay, what was I saying? I completely lost. Oh, you can get breathalyzers on Amazon really cheap. You can get, like, a little breathalyzer for, like, $20. That's, like, a keychain one. Maybe get one for your dad to point out to him that maybe he is driving, you know, in a way that'll get arrested. I think most states switch to, like, 0.05 as the standard. It used to be 0.08. Used to be higher than that, but, like, generally it was 0.08 for most of my life, and then it got put down to, like, 0.06 or 0.05 or something. I used to have a breathalyzer, probably still do somewhere, when I was, like, an alcoholic that was drinking so much every night. Oh my god. Do you know how high you can fucking blow when you're an alcoholic?
You're not.
I am free.
You probably need to, like, stop drinking when you see the amount that the breathalyzer says, and then you Google it, and it says you should, like, be passed out in a coma or something. Then you're like, huh, I probably drink so much.
Free to go.
No, you're not. Stay there.
No.
Your sister lives in Traverse City, explains her friends.
No. If you do not tell me what
Sir.
I'm free to, if you do not tell me
How
what,
long sober now? Have you passed 2 or 3 years? Over 2. Not quite 3 yet, but over 2. Hydrate.
I'm detained on, then I'm free to go.
Okay.
No. You can look all you want, but if I'm not detained...
I'm lucky in that I'm at a place in my life where I have no interest in drinking. I spent so much of my early and mid-20s drinking to blackout and, like, puking every day. It was disgusting. Like, I know most people can drink casually, and that's great. I'm happy for them. But, like, holy shit, alcohol just sounds terrible to me now. I'm glad I hit that rock bottom and, like, you know, just no interest anymore.
You cannot tell me I cannot go.
Sir.
So,
I think this is the first SovCit DUI we've seen. Could be wrong.
You're detained.
For what?
You're not free to go.
What am I detained for?
I've explained that to you, okay?
So explain it to me again.
You're speeding up Reed-Hartman Highway,
Up
okay?
What's my speed?
You are now refusing to identify yourself.
I'm not refusing.
You switched to gummies? Yeah. Weeds. I live in a legal state. Weed's better and not as bad for you. I've taken time off from weed, actually, since I started my new ADHD meds. I'm doing alright. I'm curious how it's gonna go when I do try weed again. I'm hoping it'll be nice, considering my brain is more functional now. I guess we'll see.
I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Okay.
So
Hang
you're
tight here.
infringing. So you're harassing me.
Hang tight right there.
So you're harassing me. So if you touch me again, I can sue you.
I haven't touched you, sir.
Okay then. So I'm free
Okay,
to go.
stay in the car.
So I'm free to go.
Okay.
No.
Keep your hands right there. Keep your hands. Keep your hands up.
My hands up.
I'm not talking to you.
When you have me behind my back.
Hey, Jellyfish, how you doing?
For what?
Pastor.
For what?
Yep.
For what? Tell me why I'm detained. You said I was going over 40, but you do not have evidence that I was going over 40. Can you give me?
Let go.
Juggle command.
That I'm going over 40. Can you give me evidence that I'm going over 40?
Yeah, they have
Sir.
you on
No.
their speed
You
gun.
have an ID on you, sir.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's not even, because I don't have to give you a fucking ID. You're driving. No, to operate a
Stop.
motor
Trying to
vehicle,
reach.
but I'm not operating a commercial vehicle. You don't have the right to detain me. Can you please keep that $5? Because I'm gonna need it.
Follow basic commands, okay?
Basic commands. That's harassment commands. You fucking dumbass. Tell me.
So we're gonna walk back to this
Gamer
car right
G
here.
with 50 bits says, congrats on getting sober, Hannah. Half my cousins have had relationships ruined, and a few divorces due to alcoholism and drug use. Never be ashamed to not drink. Oh, I'm not. My parents were the same way, and I told myself I would never do that, and then I did. But I learned my lesson. So that's good.
Tell me for what? What am I arrested for? You said going over what? You said I'm detained for what?
Accompanied by Sergeant Dungan, the officer escorts Carpenter to the patrol vehicle.
I feel like I almost... Look at how much of a fucking stereotype I am. This is terrible. What's wrong with me? When I came out as trans, I was like, by the way, guys, I'm not a stereotype. I'm not a cat girl, which I'm not, but you guys pay me to be, and I got one of these sharks now, so I feel like I'm a little bit of a stereotype, but what are you gonna do?
And places him in the back seat.
Detained for what?
It may be
Harassing
locked.
the cops. Bro, y'all
lock this shit.
are fucking stupid. Y'all are the dumbest cops that I've ever met in my life. Because you know how much you're going to get sued for? Do you know how much you're going to lose your job for?
They're not gonna lose anything. I lost one of the juggling balls. Where is it? Where go?
See right there.
Do you really know how much you're going to lose your job for? Do you really know? Do you really know? Like, tell me. Like, are y'all...
How long does Danzy time last if we redeem it? It would be a whole stream, probably. Like, I would, the next day, do a whole stream of Danzy. Discordant Vol says, I self-medicated with alcohol for a long time. Now my consumption is significantly decreased. I still drink a little, but it's not as much of a dependence as it once was. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you can moderate.
Stupid.
I'm glad you don't have the Danzy thing right now.
You wanna put me... Do you have proof that I was going 40? Do you have proof?
They have evidence, yes. They have the speed gun. If you would like to dispute that, you can do so in court, as is your right. Incon Skin, that's a character that's a tabaxi. It's not a cat girl. Also, that campaign I'm pretty sure is over, so...
That I was going 40 miles an hour. Did you clock me at my speed? No.
He said he did.
Dumbass. You did not print the ticket that I was going 40 miles an hour. You little dumbass. Oh, let me type it in my computer. He was going 40 miles an hour. Let me type it in my computer. You little dumbass bitch.
Can you step on?
Sir, I think he had a radar gun. You can, in court, dispute the validity of that reading, but it is the reading he had. He didn't pull you over for no reason.
No, you're not in any trouble or anything. I think you do have traffic capias, but we could probably...
Stone Corbell says, when I started saving up for the Dancy time, I thought it would be like 30 minutes or something. I'm still gonna do it, mind you, but now I'm scared. You should be. And here's the thing, you shouldn't be. I should be. I have to be there the whole stream. Dancy doesn't even have that many songs. I'm gonna have to go on a playlist and repeat it like 30 times during the stream.
I'll recite you on that. But if you come on out. How much is your friend had to...
What happened to Charisma Saves? Jake just didn't think it was going well, so he called it off indefinitely.
Think tonight.
I don't know.
What for you?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Why is he so hostile? Why is he...
I really don't know, you know, because it is use people, you know, I don't know. Or, he's my friend.
Pretty nice to him, right?
Yeah.
Respectful.
Oh.
513k channel points
man?
halfway to
Yeah,
Danzy.
Please untighten these mother...
All, like, the people who are saving are all gonna get it roughly at the same time, so we're gonna have like 3 or 4 Danzy streams at some point within a close... It's gonna drive me insane.
These shits are hurting my wrists.
Are you gonna calm down?
Obviously, I wouldn't bang on the door if they wasn't hurting.
Are you gonna calm down?
Maybe once we do a Danzy stream, because it won't be a special, add some other things so you can choose for the same amount of points instead of a Danzy stream. Though you may choose it if you'd like. Maybe I'll add, like, going through some of Peter's old videos stream, or going through Marcel's old videos stream. I'll give some options, so if you get to the 1,000,000 points and you wanna do whatever.
Calm down for what?
We're not going to get you out of the car if you're...
Might have to put something like a month cooldown on Danzy since a bunch of people are going to get it at once. That's actually a good idea. I can do a cooldown.
Listen,
more.
Why am I in the car?
You're in the car because you're under arrest.
For what?
Minimum obstruction of official business.
You said I was going over 40, and you have no evidence that I was going over 40.
Okay.
You did not clock me for going over 40.
Okay.
You did not give me my ticket for going over 40.
Sir.
So why am I in the back of your car?
Sir.
Why am I in the back of your car?
I've explained this to you several times.
No, you've explained it, but you ain't showed me. You ain't give me evidence for me to give me
It's not the time for that.
Now is not the time for nothing. Listen, you ain't giving me justice. You little dumbass.
Ooh, that's actually a good idea, Lady Anne.
That's why that...
You doing okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
So what's going on right now is my partners are going to continue searching the vehicle. We saw open containers. We have probable cause to search it. And
I just want to see more of the drunk guy. This is unhinged.
That you are being so stupid.
Noah, you have to calm down.
You are being stupid. You are being the dumbest cop I've ever seen. Actually, no, I've seen it before. Exactly. Regardless of what I think, you're going to do what you think is right, which is stupid.
Bring it up in court. Again, arguing with the guy isn't going to help you in the current situation.
But you gotta calm down.
Calm down for what? An illegal...
If you get arrested by the police, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up if you get arrested by the police. Shut the fuck up. Ask for a lawyer. Shut the fuck up. Ask for a lawyer. Shut the fuck up. Specifically say, I would like to exercise my constitutional right to an attorney, and I will not be speaking with you until I have an attorney present.
Traffic stop? Oh yeah, let me put this citation so he can go to court here in Ohio. Yeah, you dumbass, because it's going to get paid for and it's going to get nothing.
Looks like Bob from Twin Peaks.
Noah, how much have you had to drink tonight, bud?
A lot.
We can tell.
That's true. You do have to identify yourself in a traffic stop. There are stop and search states or whatever. Be aware of your local laws. But I'm saying if you do get arrested, you do not have to speak to the police in an interrogation and be questioned without a lawyer. It's your right. Wait for a lawyer.
Are you interested in,
Like, I don't know if you guys have seen so many of these crime channels on YouTube that show, like, interviews. And to be fair, most of these people are asshole murderers and stuff who've been convicted, and we know they did it. But, like, it's wild to me how many people will go into an interview with the police without a lawyer, and they just fucking talk. And they just fucking talk. The cops aren't your friends. Don't talk to them without a lawyer if you can help it.
performing any field sobriety tests, anything like that?
I mean, if you want me to act stupid, it just doesn't make sense.
Please?
This doesn't make sense.
No, I was very nice and professional with you.
Because you did not tell me why I was detained. And you did not show me evidence of why I was detained. And then you went...
He doesn't have to show you evidence of why you're detained. He expressed it to you, and that'll come up in court.
Down and go into my whole tail, and then you want to put my hands behind my own back without me letting you, and then you want to put me in a squad car without me letting you. Do you really think that's a part? Do you really think that's justice?
Aww. Does he think cops are interested in justice?
Arrest.
No.
First day?
No, it's not called resisting arrest when you ain't gave me a reason of why I'm arrested.
No. I explained to you that you were detained and you were not free to leave.
But you did not give me evidence of why I was detained.
Okay.
Can you give me that? No, you cannot.
Obstruction of official business, resisting arrest, and
Obstruction
OVI.
of official business. What business?
You refuse to identify.
Y'all don't have to identify.
Yes, you do.
Legally, you do have to. Ineffable Effort says, if you ever commit a horrendous crime, just convince the cops you're innocent. I believe in you. If you haven't committed any atrocity, you're a square away. Lawyer up.
No, because I'm not operating a commercial vehicle, you dumbass.
You're operating a motor
I'm not
vehicle.
operating a vehicle. I'm not operating a motorized vehicle. I'm not operating a commercial motorized vehicle. I'm a traveler. You cannot ask me.
Sir, Wesley Crusher is a traveler. I assure you, you are no traveler.
Carpenter argues that he wasn't operating a commercial vehicle, he wasn't obliged to provide a license, and identifies himself as a traveling citizen.
So you're a sovereign citizen?
Technically, by law, no.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but I cannot be pulled over for operating a motor vehicle when I'm saying I'm traveling.
Do you understand that I lawfully stopped you and you refused to ID
You
yourself?
lawfully stopped me,
Yes,
and
sir.
you did not give me evidence. You did not give me evidence of stopping me.
He doesn't need to show you evidence.
Do you get
That's
that?
not how any of this works.
You dumbass.
Okay.
Because you have not provided me evidence of me going over 40 to pull me over.
You understand that that's what court is for?
Yes, and you will
And
not
court
be
is
able
not
to-
held on the side of the road.
You will not be able to. You will not be able to hold me turning a right turn going 40. Are you stupid? You're not allowed to break the law to
Listen,
detain
no.
me.
I'm going to read this to you, okay?
Yep.
Some of it applies.
All of it. I want all of it.
Yes,
read to
sir.
me. Every
All that I am
single
required
word.
to. Yes.
He's upset. Discordant Vol says, you are not a one-man trial, sir. Least favorite TNG episode. Ooh, God, those are the ones I've... Oh, wait. The one where Dr. Crusher fucks the ghost. The one where Dr. Crusher fucks the ghost that also fucked her grandma on the Ireland planet. The racist one in season 1 is terrible, but it's so fascinatingly bad, it flips back around to being so bad it's entertaining, because the whole time I'm just going, who the fuck approved this? This feels like a script from the original series that would have been outdated even in the 60s, much less in the fucking 80s. Sub Rosa, thank you, that's the name.
Sir, but listen, some of it applies
No,
to you.
I need, you are now under arrest for specifically. Go ahead.
Some of this applies to you, some of it does not, okay?
No, I need every single word read to me.
If you would please stop talking and let me explain this to
I need
you.
every single word read to me.
All right? I'm going to read all of this to you.
Every single word.
Okay.
Explain the racist one. You haven't seen Star Trek? I'll just show you a scene. Code of Honor. Let's see some clips from Code of Honor.
Full delivery.
So, I would argue that this is supposed to be sort of, how do I put this? I assume they were going for some sort of what we would probably now call Afrofuturism, but they did it in a terribly racist way. This spacefaring society still, like, kidnaps brides, and it's a whole thing. Just watch.
This is Captain Picard aboard the Starfleet vessel Enterprise. Please do us the honor of visiting our vessel.
Oh wow, these sound, the music stings are very original series too. I forget how... It's easy to forget if you've watched all of TNG. That first season really feels like they don't know what to do yet, and it's so much like... feels like they're kind of trying to do TOS episodes on a bigger budget, but it, like, doesn't work. The behind-the-scenes stuff from this episode is wild. I bet it is.
I am Lutan.
This is 80s. TNG started in the 80s.
Captain Jean-Luc
Like maybe
Picard.
87, 88.
Welcome aboard. Natasha Yar.
And they're shocked that their, like, chief of security is a woman, Tasha Yar.
A woman?
1987, thank you.
Your chief of security?
We have spaceships, but we're still sexist for some reason.
According to our custom for all to see.
Oh, and they do a battle to the death. Because of course they do. And they have these stupid, like, mitts that they fight with. Tasha Yar does a fight. With, like, a scorpion stinger glove. Like, this, again, this feels like a scene from TOS. Like, I can imagine Kirk having to do this. It reminds me a little bit of the Gorn fight, right? Where he's forced to fight this alien. Like, I can see the doesn't work in TNG, though. I'm really glad that the show kept going, because holy shit did it get better after season 1. If you're starting TNG, which I would recommend, it's one of the best science fiction shows of all time, maybe start with season 2, and then go back if you like it. Just a thought. Or watch Measure of a Man. That's a good one.
I'm gonna follow you with it.
Okay, good.
There were a few episodes I like in season 1. I know Red Letter Media, Mike disagrees with me, but the last episode of the season, where no one has gone before might be the name of it. The episode where they find cryogenically frozen people from the 1980s. I enjoy that episode. I think that's fun.
Hey, no, real quick.
Yeah.
The more you interrupt him, the longer you're staying in his handcuffs. So,
Okay,
so
I don't
let him
care.
So let him
do
break.
not care.
We care, so we don't want you to know.
The neutral zone, that's what it's called. Thank you.
Okay, you can't
Because the Romulan, that's when the Romulans show up, I remember.
care because, okay, exactly.
Some of this applies to you,
Bye.
some of this.
The officer reads out BMV 22555 form, informing Carpenter his license is suspended for refusing to provide a breath or blood sample, and asks him to perform field
You can hate Star Trek, that's fine.
sobriety test, which Carpenter
I'm not mad at anyone for not liking something I like. Everyone has different tastes. It's subjective.
refuses.
Oh, every person I get to go to jail, $200 more for me.
Why is he doing that voice? He sounds like the first week I was trying to do voice training. Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's kind of Mickey Mouse, ho-ho! Discordant Vol says not to mention Best of Both Worlds. Oh, that shit's good. The first part of Best of Both Worlds is some of the best. The second part's okay. Kind of fizzles, but it's still good.
Give me my quota. Ma.
The country western singer was mentioned as playing a concert in Lower Decks. That's nice. I'm glad. He was like the one guy in that group who wasn't an asshole. At least not the same way the others were. No, the mom was okay too. The mom was okay. The housewife and the country singer, they were both alright.
This and that.
No.
Can you start with TNG? You can. You absolutely can. You can start basically at the beginning of any Star Trek series. They all exist in the same universe, and they occasionally reference each other, but they are different shows, and you can watch them. I think it's fun to see the references. The only one I would say don't watch first is Picard or Lower Decks. Those both rely upon a lot of previous knowledge of Star Trek. So start with either the original series or TNG. I think TNG is probably the best place to start. Voyager's okay. It's not as good. Deep Space Nine is great, but I think you need to watch TNG first. You don't have to, but I think it helps. Because there's sort of a juxtaposition between TNG and the ethos of, like, Deep Space Nine, where the Federation is in the middle of the war with the Dominion, and they kind of have to make questionable moral choices. And I think that has a greater impact when you see in TNG that the Federation tries to be so, like, lawful good all the time, and seeing them stray away from that during war is more impactful. Anyway. Oh, Strange New Worlds is great, too. The new season of Strange New Worlds starts tomorrow. If you haven't already and you're a Star Trek fan, watch the first season of Strange New Worlds. It's fucking great. It's the best Star Trek that's been on TV in 2 decades. Please check it out. Anson Mount is one of the best Star Trek captains. I love Captain Pike. He's so good. Where do you even watch so much Star Trek? I own the DVDs and Blu-rays, but that is available on Paramount Plus, which I'm sure most people don't have, but I'm sure you can find ways to watch it, wink wink.
You 6 months of training to be a freak. That's it. That's it. You served me.
There was one with Scott Bakula in the early 2000s. It was called Enterprise. Not very good. There are things I like about it, and it gets better as the show goes on. But I really don't like Captain Archer, played by Scott Bakula. He's an asshole. Which is such a shame, because Bakula shines when he plays an affable, like, good guy. You can see that in Quantum Leap, his, like, biggest role. And he's just the opposite in Enterprise, and it blows my mind.
Pay taxes. You have an obligation to answer me, sir.
Finally, the officer begins transporting Carpenter to the Hamilton County Justice Center.
Do you even know how fast you were going?
Do you know?
You're going greater than 40.
Do you have evidence?
Yes, I do.
Give it to me.
It'll be.
Season 1 of Strange New Worlds is on YouTube? Fuck yes. I'm gonna give people a link so you can watch it. Wow. That's pretty cool. Here's episode 1 of Strange New Worlds. If you want to watch it, I guess. Watch it after this stream, because I'm more important. But it's a good show. All you need to know, and it'll explain it in the show, but just a preface, all you need to know is in a previous show, Captain Pike was shown that he's going to be horribly disfigured someday in an accident. And this show starts with him dealing with the fact that he knows he only has like 8 years left before inevitably he is going to be incapacitated and put basically in a wheelchair where he can't talk, he can't move. The only way he can communicate is by beeping. Like hitting a pedal, basically, that turns a beep for yes or no. So horrifying. But please, check it out. It's a good show. The season finale's great, and kind of recontextualizes an episode of the original series that's pretty fun. You see Kirk. It's good. Wasn't Captain Pike supposed to be the original character from the pilot episode? Yes. Yes, he was, and Anson Mount does an excellent job. Real quick, let me show you something that's great. Why can I not find it? Oh, here it is. Previously on Star Trek, but it's like a previously from the 1960s for the show that is now out. It's pretty good. Doctor Who did a similar thing. This is the last thing I will show before we actually go back to the Sovereign Citizens. Doctor Who did a similar thing. Oh, did they not have the last time? No, that's not it. Where's the last time? It was so good. They did something similar in Doctor Who where they did a story that was kind of a follow-up to a story from like 60 years ago, and they also did the last time on Doctor Who, but it was like last time on Doctor Who 876 episodes ago or something. It was pretty good. There it is. And it sort of transitions into the modern actor playing the first Doctor. Previously on Doctor Who.
I should ask
709 episodes ago.
Come along, Polly, my child, with my crew.
Hey, Doctor, you've got the most fantastic wardrobe.
Yes. Don't know what we're in for outside there. Pretty soon we shall be having visitors.
I think it's probably time to do another Blu-ray review stream because I'm feeling talking about sci-fi. Maybe we need to do... my Doctor Who collection is down here. If anyone's still here from the raid, I collect movies and TV shows. I have so much of Doctor Who. This entire bottom shelf is all Doctor Who Blu-rays and a DVD.
You're different. You've got no feeling.
Oh, I think the first Doctor's great. He's underrated. Some of the audios that Big Finish does with his character are excellent. And of course, I like the original show too. He has such a deviously... He almost has this like gremlin, like mischievous nature underneath all his like, I'm a Edwardian gentleman. But he's like, he's got a little bit of a chaos demon in him.
I do not understand that. Emotion.
Original Cybermen are also really creepy.
I do not understand that. Emotion, love, pride, hate, fear.
Have you no emotions, sir?
You have no need of emotion.
Seeing a scene from the first Doctor redone in modern stuff is so interesting to me. I almost wish, and I know budget-wise, there's no way they would ever do this and can't do this, but there are missing episodes of Doctor Who that are just lost to time because the BBC recorded over them. I kind of wish they'd just get him and some other people to redo them. Still shoot it like an old episode in black and white and 4:3 or whatever. Try and make it look like the original as much as possible. Use the same scripts. I think it would be nice, but I understand they have no interest in spending money on an old project that only collectors like me would give a shit about. Where did I start watching Doctor Who? I started with the 5th series with Matt Smith, and I became enthralled in like middle school with it, and then I went back and watched Eccleston and Tennant, and then I've been watching ever since. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. Did I hear they found a few of the last episodes? Really? Really? I hadn't heard that lately. That's good.
Okay, Doctor.
I guess this old body of mine is
Wearing a bit thin.
Fungus. It's melting.
Okay, one more thing. A speech the first Doctor gave to his granddaughter because they landed on this Earth in the future, and she, in this episode, was talking about how she felt she'd never have roots anywhere and never have a family and be loved because her and the Doctor move around so much. So he leaves her here because he knows she's in love with this guy that they met, and this is the speech he gives. Turning into uncle, I don't know what that means. He does have a granddaughter, yes. The first Doctor had a granddaughter, and I want them to bring her back so bad. They have in the audios. I'm familiar with her audio appearances.
Susan, please.
By the way, I understand that this hasn't aged amazing, like it's arguable that this is taking away agency from Susan and making a decision for her. I get that. It was the 1960s. I'm not saying it plays well today, but the speech itself is good. One more thing. Oh, Uncle. Yeah,
During all
one
the
more
years,
thing. I remember.
I've been taking care of
Doctor Who episode that was colorized. The first Third Doctor episode, something of the Autons. It's right here. Oh no, sorry, it was Spearhead from Space. I apologize. It's the first Pertwee episode. I have it right here.
Just go forward.
I assume you meant in color, right? Because it was Spearhead from Space was one of the episodes called Terror of the Autons. Because the way that this was broken up, this whole thing is called Spearhead from Space. I'm not sure what the individual episodes were called in this because they were broken up. This last year they released the first Doctor season on Blu-ray. It's season 2 because they're doing these all out of order. But it's really cool. I love seeing this all cleaned up. It's nice. Yeah, Spearhead from Space Part 1 and 2. Okay. Oh, the Doctor decides for people all the time. It's a big part of his character. The Doctor is not all good all the time. There are definitely morally questionable things. Okay. We looked at the DUI guy. Let's move on to another SovCit. How's Chili been doing? Chili had a court appearance, I believe, was it yesterday? Yes. Yesterday, Chili had a court appearance. As you know, he was arrested in Las Vegas for interfering with a traffic stop and resisting arrest. He went to court yesterday, I believe, in order to try and get that thrown out. It didn't work, so this is the video he put right after it. Lily Love Stuff says, as a massive Eurovision fan, the BBC recording over stuff is so frustrating. We don't have the videos from 1956 except for the winner's reprise, and we don't have any 1964 because at the time, only the host country recorded and there was a fire at the Danish broadcasters that destroyed the footage. There are rumors that French have it, but goodness, it's frustrating not having video of those 2 years. This is why Blu-rays are important to me and DVDs. I like to archive these things. I like to know I have them. I like to know that no matter what happens, I have these things. No corporation can pull them off of streaming for tax reasons, you know what I mean? I own it. So that's good. Shake hands with a doctor and you shake hands with a war criminal? That's true. I agree. That's one of the reasons I like the Doctor, is because they're a character that does amazing good, but also has the potential for just the most destructive, horrifying things. The Doctor's basically a cosmic horror, but happens to like to do good. But don't piss off the Doctor. They will fucking destroy you and your entire species. They'll erase you from history. Yeah. Anyway.
What is going on out there in the land of YouTube? What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? I'm just YouTubing.
See, this is why I also own every season of Star Trek. Paramount can't take shit away from me.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. I had a very short drive here in front of me, so I thought that I would put my phone over here on the side and just kind of have a conversation with you guys about, over there, Charlie, can you lay down over there? Just got to have a conversation with kind of.
Doctor is a demonstration of good is not soft. I think he's a good demonstration of speak softly and carry a big stick. The doctor has morals, but if he finds you in ill repute, he'll stop you, no matter what it takes. Chili's court appearance yesterday? Ooh. Oh, is this really? Oh my god, this was. Holy shit, I didn't know this was on. Awesome, thank you. Good people don't need rules. You don't want to learn why I have so many. Matt Smith was good at playing the silly doctor that underneath was really a scary, scary guy. Tea with Goblin says, "Oh yes, the world is harsh and justice is capricious, so Chili gets mad about facing the consequences of his actions is delicious."
Jose de Castro, 23CR013015. Good morning.
Michael Me, on behalf of the defendant, I have received a copy of this.
Chili has a lawyer, by the way. He'll mention it in his video that we're going to watch after this, but Chili, even though he likes to typically go pro se, this time he decided to get a lawyer. Probably because he realized he's going to get fucked if he doesn't. His justification in the video makes no sense, by the way. He's like, oh yeah, I got a lawyer, because last time I was in court, it was absolute kangaroo court when I defended myself, and it's like, that's kind of you recognizing that the problem's you, right? Because if you thought it was a kangaroo court because they weren't listening to you, that wouldn't change with a lawyer. So on some level, he knows he's terrible at this.
Citation, answer, Dr. Heatley.
Ooh, I like that, Lady Anne. That makes sense. Colin Baker's, like, righteous anger and just disgust at people. That could be weaponized for good. Cthulhu Flower, what would you like me to wear? It has to be something that can go with the cat ears, because I can't take them off. It's part of the whole ensemble.
Trial and order enforced.
Is the state giving you an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to communicate that to my
I
client.
don't set up for trial, I'll set up for a status check on negotiations to see if your client wants to accept the offer or not.
I'd rather set it for trial, Your Honor.
Why?
I just know my client's position on what the negotiations is likely to be on this.
I'll give you 2 weeks to discuss it with him, and you can come back and tell me you've rejected it, and then I'll set up a trial. Alright, June 27th.
It's annoying to me that the judge, and someone else I saw brought this up too. Flower Crown, cool beans. What happened there was Chili refused to take a plea deal from the prosecution, and the judge asked, why? Because it's his right to have a trial, Judge. Don't ask people why they're not taking plea deals. They don't have to take plea deals. I get it, it probably makes your schedule easier, but that's not how this works. Don't badger people on why they're not taking plea deals. That is absolutely not your place. Fuck off with that shit. Plea deals are often weaponized by the court systems and the police in order to get people to plead guilty for things they didn't do by scaring them into thinking, hey, just plead guilty and we'll let you go with lesser charges instead of you having to fight this in court and hope that a jury believes you. It's fucked up.
8 a.m.
Okay. So that was his brief court appearance. Let's see what he had to say about it.
I don't like to go into detail about lawsuits because what I've determined after I've been doing this for the past year now.
You like to talk about them all the time. I think you don't like to talk about them when it's going badly for you. Like, the first thing you say to cops is, like, I'm gonna sue you. Do you know who I am? I sue cops. I'm Chili DeCastro. I sue cops. It's the entire thing you do. It's your persona. You've won 0 cases, so I don't know why you've made that a fundamental part of your persona. It's transparent to everyone who knows who you are. But whatever.
Is that...
Yeah, there's some people online who've been trying to get, I forget what state he has his driver's license out of, but they continually are sending videos of him driving while filming to that state's, like, Department of Transportation to try and get them to revoke his license. I don't necessarily think anything will happen, but kind of funny.
There's really no point.
Chili talks about court in Arizona. We didn't know about any case in Arizona, so we're about to get new Chili lore. Oh, that's true. His previous cases, I guess I didn't realize weren't in Arizona. I know he had some restraining orders previously from even before he started streaming this stuff, but...
in saying anything. Because, but I do want to... Let me see if that works. There you go. Okay. So, I do want to talk a little bit about a couple things that are going on, because it's pretty interesting stuff. It's pretty interesting stuff. It really is. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a 5x5. You guys can hear me all right?
He's so fucking obnoxious. Look at the goddamn headphones, too. Stop it. I'm literally wearing this outfit, and I find that embarrassing. You're trying so hard to cultivate some sort of persona that is clearly not real. Stop it. Be a person. Fenekigami says, which is the funny thing about plea deals, because if you plead guilty or no contest, the judge is required to ask if you've been coerced or tricked into making that plea. Yeah, that's a fucked up part of the system. He says he has tinnitus, which, like, fair enough. I totally understand. There are plenty of people who have tinnitus who wear a headphone or something, but he doesn't even have them on. If you had them on, whatever, although you're not really supposed to wear headphones while you're driving anyway. But, like, why is he doing this? Put them on when you need them, take them off when you don't. You look like douchebag Princess Leia.
What's going on out there? What are you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday.
I've only seen the 12 Monkeys movie. I haven't seen the TV show. Is the TV show as good as the movie?
So I thought I would come on and talk a little bit about court this morning and what happened this morning, and kind of how there's two different sets of rules in court. There's two different sets of rules. Okay. And the two different sets of rules are based on what you do, what your status is, what your occupation is. And so, as you guys know, I'm an activist, and
are you literally just going to talk about the cops are trusted automatically? I agree, that's a problem. Logard says, have my last bits for douchebag Princess Leia. Thank you. I've not seen Farscape. People have told me to watch it. On my list of sci-fi things that people have told me to watch because I like Star Trek and stuff, Farscape, I think there was a show called, like, Dark Matters, the Stargate TV shows, Babylon 5. People have given me a list.
First Amendment auditor, even though
oh, thanks, Pingo.
I don't really call myself a First Amendment auditor. I've even told people don't call me a First Amendment auditor because
no, I haven't seen Dune. Dune doesn't. I'll see it maybe when the second part comes out, like on home streaming or something. Dune just doesn't interest me. I don't generally like sci-fi where it's like, it's sci-fi, but everything's a grungy, dirty desert. It worked in one movie for me, the first Star Wars, and every time we go back to Tatooine or Jakku, which is just fucking Tatooine again, basically, I'm like, I'm so sick of these desert planets. I get it. I get we remember Tatooine. I'm turning into Anakin. I hate sand. It's rough, and it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. Terradona says, put the phone down, Chili. You don't want a felony hit and run. You'd think.
I don't really have anything to do.
In 2 miles.
To be clear, I'm not saying Dune is bad. I'm just saying the aesthetic rubs me the wrong way. I'll watch it eventually.
I don't really watch First Amendment auditors videos anymore. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think that the path that I've chosen to take is to sue bad coppers and hold them accountable if they violate my rights. And I'm still considering suing the...
Tatooine is the center of the galaxy. Everyone goes there. That's the crazy thing. In the first movie, Tatooine is a way out of the way outpost outside of the central systems. It's like, you know, the stormtroopers go there, but they don't really go there unless they have to. It's a smuggling world because it's out of the purview of the Empire, generally. Yeah, it's in the Outer Rim. Why is everyone constantly going to Tatooine?
The cop from the other night. I'm still considering...
The only reason is nostalgia. It annoys me.
...considering suing him. Because he said he knew who I was.
To be clear, Mandalorian fucking slaps, though, so...
He said that he knew who I was, and then that that I had to go over there. Well, if you know who I am, and that's why I said First Amendment auditor, if you know who I am and you know what I'm doing, then what I'm doing here is I'm here to film you.
Right, but in states there can still be restrictions on where they can have you be. Some states have a specific distance. I think some states, for instance, say like 10 feet or 10 meters or something like that. Others are written more broadly and give the police a wider discretion in determining when you're interfering with their stop. And whether you agree with it or not, that's the law as written, and if you disagree, you're probably going to get arrested, because cops, you know, they don't like when people tell them no. So, if you're going to want to change that, just doing it and breaking the law probably isn't going to help. There are situations where breaking a law intentionally can be a form of activism. I don't think this is that. I think he's just a dumbass who wants attention. Fenigami says, by the way, chat, sharing mostly because I'm anxious and want parasocial support. I'm currently looking into getting a house to move in with my wife and son and disabled mother and brother. Wish me luck. Currently waiting to see if a deal goes through. I wish you all of the luck. Getting a house is stressful. So I hope all that goes well for you. Grizzler Guy, thanks for gifting a sub.
And so, Sergeant Martinez of Las Vegas Metro Police Department, I might sue you. There's a very good chance.
Chili, you fucking sue everyone. You're the boy who cried lawsuit. Who the fuck cares? Tea with Goblin says, also as a fan of big doof over-ear headphones, they're expensive and liable to break if they fall from a height. Like they're more likely to do when worn improperly, you insufferable thin-lipped grub. That's actually true. I have a pair of Bose noise-canceling over-ear headphones like that. I used to use them. You guys can go back to early streams and see me wearing them. They're really great, and they're good at noise canceling, but they're really fucking annoying. I would pretty much only take them on flights if I had them these days, but I think they broke at some point. I am going to pee real quick. I've had to pee for a bit, so let me put something on, and when I come back, we'll continue with Chili whining. Okay, enjoy Sausage Guy. Be right back.
Hey folks, and welcome back, I guess. Salt and vinegar potato chips, but not just any potato chips. These are the kettle salt and vinegar chips. The Rolls Royce of salt and vinegar potato chips. Oh god, it's like salty heaven in my mouth. Let's make some sausage! Why do I dump them all out? I'm immediately filled with regret each time I do that. You can really see the grease. It kinda looks like curry. I think we can avoid using salt and pepper with this since it's already heavily salted. New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick. And I think it's fly when the girls stop by for the sausage. For the sausage. I gotta tell you, this sausage is quite pungent already. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage! So we got 4 moderately sized sausages out of that. With special thanks to today's Mark Boxalo box artist, Mrs. Batman from the Ordinary Sausage Discord server. She got it all in there, didn't she? Got it all in there. But,
How many chips did he use? I know people are complaining about how many chips. Okay. Yeah, probably needed more chips.
Will it blow? How disappointing. We hit the box, but barely. So I'm gonna have to give that Will It Blow 1 Mark Ruffalo! Well, okay. Here we go!
It's just gonna be salty sausage. I don't know what the meat is, but it's just gonna be salty.
I think we're done here.
Well, little potato-y, but not enough to really taste, probably.
Let's open one up and see how we did.
I miss when he used to do sausage. It seems like a lot of the time now he does sausages that are mostly meat and then, like, some other ingredient. He used to do sausages that were just all the weird shit. Do more weird shit.
It looks potato chippy. If you're gonna eat a sausage, eat the biggest one you can. Here we go! it's really not all that salty, and it's not all that vinegary either. It certainly is crunchy. Oh yeah, I'm surprised. It's not nearly as flavorful as I thought it would be. So
Man, it's almost like you needed more chips.
I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 3 out of 5.
Bop, bop.
Okay, back to chili bitching.
The more and more I think about it, I think I'm gonna sue him. Because
wow, another lawsuit. You're so competent, Chili. You can juggle so many lawsuits at once. Let's see you land one. Let's see you get a victory, a big V. A big V for Chili.
he said that he knew who I was, and then he went over to me and tried to chill my First Amendment right, tried to stop me from filming.
He probably told you to back away, Chili. He probably told you to back away because that's happened to you many times, and you refused to last time, and that's why you got arrested. GamerG says, been watching older VODs while working. Is that dice rolling I hear sometimes during streams? I assume that's ADHD coping thing. P.S. I had bits earlier relevant to Chili. I don't know. I don't roll dice like that, so I don't know what you're hearing. Discordant Vol says, one of these has to stick eventually. Let me find those previous bits from you. Where are they? Oh, GamerG said, bragging about suing cops over everything in front of cops is a good way to find yourself in an officer-involved incident with the wrong unit, but I think the cops don't think he's a threat and probably view him as a court jester. Hey, honey, you'll never guess who I encountered today. I'd agree.
Literally.
You are probably hearing the headphone hit the desk. Is it this? Yeah, that's what it is. I'll try not to do that, sorry. I have wireless headphones that I love. They're Samsung Galaxy Buds, and I used to use them all the time, but my computer just doesn't want to pair to them anymore. When it pairs to my computer, it recognizes it as a device, but it doesn't recognize it as an audio device. I don't understand why. I probably need to do something with my drivers. I don't know computer stuff.
Got in my face and started screaming at me, threatening to detain me. Said be first warning, second warning.
Yes, I've had it forget the device many times and put back on.
Third warning.
Like, it just doesn't want to deal with it. And for the record, these headphones attach to everything else. My phone, my tablet. Like, these headphones function. I use them for everything else. It just won't attach to my computer. And I've tried to look if I need driver updates. It doesn't need an update. It might just be a corrupted driver that I need to figure out which one so I can delete it and redo it. But that's a whole thing. I've been so off track. I'm sorry.
For what? You already said you knew
I've not tried human sacrifice. Does anyone volunteer?
who I was, Sergeant
Preferably a virgin, but like, whatevs.
Martinez. If you know who I am, and you said you knew who I was, then I don't need to be warned for interfering because I'm not there to interfere. If you know what a First Amendment
Halloween Town, I need you to mod. You can't be used for a human sacrifice.
auditor does, I'm there to film the stop. And I will be filming you
I'm joking about the virginity thing, obviously. Virginity is not a big deal. Who the fuck cares?
cops. Las
Who you are as a person has nothing to do with whether or not you've had sex, obviously.
Vegas Metro Police Department, I will be filming you. And so, if I walk up to film you, and the only reason the other night I announced my presence was because he was already being violent with somebody, and then when I approached, he was extraordinarily aggressive. Extraordinarily aggressive. Hey everybody, I'm sorry, I can't shout off any names. I wish I could because I can't take
Because you're driving a car? You're driving a car, Chili. Drive the car. Put the phone down. And here's the thing, like, how do I put this? There are mounts that you can get for cars, because a lot of people stream in their cars. I don't think you should. I don't think that's a good idea generally if you're driving, because even using like a hands-free phone device, studies show, still make you distracted because you're thinking about other things. But at minimum, get a stand or something so you can just set your phone there and you can ramble about whatever bullshit you want, and then both hands are on the wheel and you can keep looking at the road. Why does he demand that he has to, like, have it in his hand and move it around? Spongy Lord with 24 months says, woo! Still my favorite streamer in Twitch for years now. Never ever letting this sub die. Thank you for everything, Hannah. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.
Look at my phone long enough to do that.
I'm just glad people like watching. I always forget that I'm relatively successful in Twitch terms. Like, I regularly have 250 viewers. Today I had over 300 for a bit with the raid. Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good.
I just, you know, people already bitch and complain.
The mounts are supposed to be so you can use the phone for GPS. I understand. But people use them to film. And I'd rather he do that than this.
That I live stream and drive, but I don't really care because, well, the proof's in the pudding.
It could be better. Then share the stream. Share the stream with people. Share it on Twitter. Get other bigger streamers or smaller streamers to raid me.
You know, I've been fortunate with
I've never been good at self-promotion, so.
A driver. I've been fortunate in that regard. So thank you for coming, everybody. I appreciate it. Everybody hit the like button. Take your finger real quick and hit the like button.
Twitter got evicted from their office. Oh, fuck yes. Twitter is being evicted from its Boulder office over unpaid rent. Isn't it wild that rich people like Elon Musk can just, like, stop paying their rent and they get leeway for so long? Any advice for new streamers? Talk about what you want. Be yourself. If you don't, you're going to be miserable if this does become something that you do regularly. So make sure you're having fun doing it. I have fun doing this with you guys. It's silly. It's stupid. We talk about fun stuff. We talk about serious stuff. But at the end of the day, it's stuff that interests me. Right? I have fun doing it. Do something that you have fun doing. Don't ever, and this was the same advice I gave people who were starting YouTube back in the day, because I started on YouTube like a decade ago. And I brought a lot of that audience here, which helped. Don't do it just because you want to be popular or be seen or have people listen to you. You gotta do it because you enjoy doing it, otherwise it's not gonna work. People can tell when you're fake, people can tell when you don't want to be there. Have fun. Fenekagami says sharing the stream of trans women on Twitter will likely get you banned these days. Oof.
Button. Hit the like.
Flat Booty Goth Girlfriend says, I'm a YouTube convert. I only ever joined Twitch to watch you. Huge fan, Hannah. Thank you.
Like button. It'll just take you a second. It's that thumbs up thing down there. You've seen it. It's right down there.
Don't do it for the money. That's the ironic thing. If you want to do this and make it a career, you can't think about it as primarily a way to make money because it'll seem miserable. You'll start chasing trends. It'll be a nightmare. Just do you. If your content's good, people will come to it. And by the way, when you start, you're going to be terrible. You're going to be terrible. You're going to feel awkward. There's not going to be many people watching you. Get comfortable with that. Get comfortable with failure. Get comfortable with no one watching. Get comfortable with feeling weird. It's just something you get used to.
And with my car being almost self-driving with lane control.
I'm concerned that he thinks that his car can drive itself because it has lane control or lane assist features. Those features explicitly tell you not to act as though they're fully in control because it can make mistakes.
And speed control that both speeds up and brakes for me. The car.
Okay, it's a machine, and humans make machines, and machines make mistakes. Have you seen some of the Tesla accidents that have happened or almost happened because of their self-driving shit?
Stays within the lines all on its own. All I have to do is touch the steering wheel every 15 or 20 seconds. So
he's literally admitting to not driving his car and just filming a video. This is worse than I thought. Because, like, I was under the impression that he was more or less still trying to drive, but being distracted. He's not even doing it. He's just letting his car drive itself with the driver assist features, which you're not supposed to leave unsupervised for pretty obvious reasons. He's just touching the steering wheel, letting it do its own thing. He's going to get mangled in a car accident.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What's going on, Charlie? Say hello.
Oh my god, he's not wearing a seatbelt. He's not wearing a seatbelt either. Holy fucking shit. I just noticed. There's no seatbelt. Oh, his poor dog.
Everybody, what's going on, Charlie? He likes to sit in my lap, but I can't have you in my lap right now, buddy. I got too much going on. I got too much going on, Lord.
Do you regularly drive with your dog in your lap? Because holy shit, that dog should be taken away from you. If you got in a car accident, you would be murdered by a dog corpse smashing into you via airbag. The airbag would penetrate the dog into your chest, and you die some horrifying Cronenbergian dog man nightmare. Don't do that.
Guy, I'll see you in a second. Get over there. Get over
Oh,
there.
he has no problem filming his crimes. He's a dumbass.
Over there, Charlie. Get over there. You hear me? You hear me, little boy? So listen, you know, and that's what I was going to talk about when I said I didn't want to talk about the lawsuits, because there's so many things going on with my different lawsuits.
Discordant Volt says tactical dog corpse. Interesting.
Right now that
anyone played Postal? Remember the silencers from Postal? Fennikagami says, and I thought Chile was a menace because he was a sovereign citizen. I was wrong. He was a menace because of the dog neglect. It can be both.
Speak on it. There's a bunch of people who make videos about the lawsuits going on, and a lot of those some of those are misinformation or bias. You know, there's a...
Oh yeah, he's taken his hands off the wheel. What he is saying is that he thinks that his driver assist features, which if you don't know, new cars these days often come with optional features that are driver assist. Kind of like an advanced version of cruise control, right? Cruise control if you're on the highway or whatever, not city driving. You can set your cruise control and whatever, and it'll just maintain the same speed. There are advanced cruise control options now that are like lane assist features or like emergency braking features. These are like things that should help you, but you should always be hands on the wheel in control, because at any minute, it's a machine, it could fuck up. It could fuck up. It's so stupid. And the fact that people are using these as if it's like a full self-driving level 5 car scare the shit out of me. Have you seen the videos of these idiots in Teslas falling asleep in the back seat? Or in the front seat? There was literally an adult film that was filmed on a highway, and the performers... Level 5 is an actual term that's used in self-driving. I'm not making it up for comedic effect. Self-driving is defined by different levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 being the highest level of self-driving. It's theoretical, it doesn't exist in real life. Level 5 would mean you don't even need a steering wheel. That's how good it is. Anyway, I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh, there was literally an adult film that was filmed in a Tesla, where the performers were both in the front seat and not paying any attention. They were both just fucking each other, because, you know, it's an adult film, that's what they do. It would scare the shit out of me. Like, I'm scared for these people. They don't know what they're doing. They trust it way too much. Do I ever think that these types travel with pets so that cops will be less likely to arrest them to avoid having to deal with the animal? That theory has crossed my mind several times. It's possible, but I think more or less Chili just wants someone who loves him without judging him, because I think that's probably something he's struggled with his whole life. It feels like a lot of the insecurities that are prevalent in his videos, if you listen to him long enough, are based upon him wanting to feel special, wanting him to feel like a hero, wanting people to view him as, like, fighting for them. He wants to be seen as a good guy. He wants to be seen as a guy that's sticking up for people. I think on some level he feels like he needs to do that to be loved. I don't know. And the dog doesn't need that. The dog just loves him. I don't know. Answer amazing. Thanks for 12 months. Says, howdy, was just diagnosed with MDD online and will soon be getting meds, so I hope it works. I don't know what MDD is. Could someone let me know? Curious. Overthought says, level 6, the Tesla just takes you to the Hyperloop so that you understand how awesome it really is.
There's an attorney or two who covers my videos that are just completely biased, and
they're very biased people.
Dunce caps. I mean, it is what it is. You know, remember before I came...
Major depressive disorder. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're going to be looking into getting meds. I hope it helps. I know depression is a bitch. I've been medicated for quite a while, and it helps. It helps.
To YouTube.
Fennikagami says, speaking of dog neglect, a second police dog has died as a result of being left to overheat in a patrol car in a week. A-cab, everyone. It sucks how assholes care more about care more about a dog more than people. The weird thing is, I've seen cops leave their cars running with the AC on, like, just because they wanted to stay cool while they're in the store, and, like, they're not paying for the gas, so leaving it running is no big deal for them. But apparently that cop doesn't care to leave it on for the dog? Bizarre.
Before I came to the YouTubes, who here knew about Terry versus Ohio?
Chili, are you under the impression that no one knew about Terry versus Ohio before you went on the internet? It's one of the most famous case laws involving the right of the police to search citizens ever. People have heard of it. This Coordinate Vol says, level 7, the Tesla is far too busy with its emerald mine to drive you anywhere today.
How many people said, man, you know, we should make it our mission to overturn Terry versus Ohio? How many people heard that before?
The term Terry versus, or rather, the case Terry versus Ohio, for those who don't know, is what allowed in common law police to do what's known as a Terry stop. Basically, if the police are like, that person's acting incredibly suspiciously, they have the right to come up and question you and potentially search you if they have probable cause and a reasonable articulable suspicion. The case that actually did this involved, there were some criminals who were casing, I think it was a jewelry store, for a robbery. Police officer, this was back in the day, somewhere early in the 20th century, I think, early to mid. They were casing a joint for a robbery. A cop in the area noticed that these people kept going back and forth and looking at this place suspiciously. They were casing the joint, as it turned out. And the cop went and investigated them and found illegal weapons on them, I believe. And that went to court. And Terry, the titular Terry of Terry versus Ohio, made the claim that I was just existing in public, that cop has no right to search me. But the Supreme Court disagreed. Again, you don't have to agree with that. I understand. I get it. That's been, like, a huge problem with police, like, just harassing minorities. I understand that. That is a problem. The problem is, I don't think Chili really gives a shit about that. I think he cares about looking like a hero and making everything about himself. I don't think he gives a shit about Terry versus Ohio. I think he cares about feeling like he's an activist doing something. Feels like he has kind of a white savior complex, if you've ever seen. When he used to be on TikTok, there was a video on TikTok where there was, like, some demonstration about, I think it was, like, a black teen or something that had been killed by the police during a Terry stop. And, like, the parents were grieving at this thing and had a microphone and were talking. And Chili comes in and basically takes it over and just starts ranting about his shit. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts.
Before I came to YouTube's a year and a half ago, how many? I could tell you how many. 0. So
that was actually the first video we watched of Chili. Broha sent it.
So the same.
I think he's been banned off TikTok since then.
Thing with the people who are called First Amendment auditors, the people who didn't really do this.
Ran the fool. What do you want me to look up in Black's Law?
Studying, but they watched other people's videos and they said, oh, that's how it's done. Okay. So qualified immunity is not the most important thing. It's not even remotely close. It's not even in the top 5. As far as you and I having freedom on the street and what these filthy, nasty jackboot thugs can do to us just based on their suspicion. That's all Terry versus Ohio.
Chili, do you realize that people would take you more seriously in your activism if you didn't use it as an excuse to speed, not wear a seatbelt, and trespass? All things you've done on stream. You're literally not wearing a seatbelt right now. It doesn't come off like you genuinely care about, like, some sort of infringement of rights. It just seems like you want to break the law with impunity. Makes you look like an ass.
So, I'm sorry.
Entrapment? Alright, I'll look it up.
I'm going around about it, but I'm getting to what I wanted to talk about here. So, when you are labeled a First Amendment auditor, then that means that the police departments in America, all across the nation, have had memos and bulletins and meetings and talks and discussed what a First Amendment auditor does. And so, the other
Entrapment. 1. A law enforcement officer's or government agent's inducement of a person to commit a... Excuse me. I'll get to your bits in a sec. A law enforcement officer or government agent's inducement of a person to commit a crime by means of fraud or undue persuasion in an attempt to later bring a criminal prosecution against that person. 2. The affirmative defense of having been so indicted. To establish entrapment, the defendant must show that he or she would not have committed the crime but for the fraud or undue persuasion. Verb to entrap. There you go. Where Fenekigami said, the thing is, they have to leave the AC on for the dog. It's department policy. The cops just can't follow their own rules, and funnily, some MAGA people think the cop should be charged, even as far as charging him with killing another officer. MAGA people are interestingly selective.
Night when Sergeant...
I guess the difference is they like dogs. They don't like people who aren't white because they're racist. So...
Martinez ran up and got in my face and started threatening to detain me, saying, there's your first warning. Warning me for what, Martinez?
For being too close to the scene.
You know, Martinez, I'm going to come after you, bro, through the court system. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come after you, bro. You're not allowed to chill my First Amendment right because you don't want to be filmed. If I hadn't rolled up on that little piggy, grabbing that guy would have had stitches. Have you guys seen my short? He would have had stitches if I wasn't here. He would have had stitches because he was automatically going to violent hands-on. Violent. Back seat.
I see making his dog go in the back seat. That's interesting.
Good boy. So that's what I'm talking about. And the whole point of being a First Amendment auditor is flexing your rights to be able to film. Well, if I don't have the right to film and they're...
Chili, you do have a right to film. You just need to follow the laws of the state that say, like, how far away you need to be to not be interfering with the stop. And you didn't do that.
And so far, LVMPD copper named Shannon, he tried to get me to go stand behind a sign. I was already 30 feet away. He tried to get me to stand another 50 feet away behind a sign, behind the Pennymac sign, he said. I said, no, I'm not moving because I'm not doing anything wrong. LVMPD is starting to know who I am now. If you haven't figured out who I am yet, boy.
Chili's, and I don't want this to happen. It's weird to me when First Amendment auditors or SovCits clearly espouse that they understand that police are dangerous, but they never exhibit any sort of caution in their interactions. Like, Chili, you're gonna end up in a ditch with 3 shots to the back of the head that's gonna be deemed a suicide. Like, you're gonna try and fuck with the cops over this?
I'm the guy who's gonna sue you if you put your hands on me or you violate my First Amendment right to speech or to be press. So if you violate my rights, Sergeant Martinez, you know, he said the other day when I was auditing, filming him, so making sure he didn't kill anybody, Sergeant Martinez said to me, I don't care. I said, if you touch me, I'm gonna sue you. But the thing is, when I got home, I realized I don't have to sue him for touching me. I can sue him for coming over and saying, this is your first warning, this is your second warning.
Good luck. Discordant Vol says it's because they're always live streaming them. It's pretty effective.
You're warning me for what, bro? I have every single right to film you, and I will. And so, that's what I wanted to talk about right now. The entire point of the court processes that I'm in, the entire reason I sue bad piggies, the whole reason I do what I do, is so that our rights can be respected. That's what matters the most to me, is that your rights and my rights will be respected. And so the other day, sorry about that, the other day when Sergeant Martinez, when he came up to me and decided to tell me that this is your first warning, this is your second, he went to 4 and 5, I think. Like, how many warnings do I get, Martinez? The truth is, you had no standing to arrest me. You had no probable cause standard. And that's what I mean. There was no reasonable articulable suspicion, and within reasonable articulable suspicion, there was no singular articulable fact that would lead to a criminal investigation that would have reasonable articulable suspicion attached to it. So I'm not going to go into detail about my court case this morning because really nothing happened.
He had his lawyer file for a stay. It was denied. So when he says nothing happened, what he really means is my motion was denied. Sad face. I don't want to talk about it.
What happened there? I went. So, if you guys don't know, I have an attorney for that. I got an attorney for the criminal case because in Arizona a couple years ago, I didn't have a representation in a criminal case and I lost. And it was a kangaroo court.
This is what I'm talking about. If he really thinks the reason he lost is because it's a kangaroo court, it would be a kangaroo court whether or not you have a lawyer, right? Like, if you think it's all a hoax and a setup and like just bullshit, having a lawyer or not would not matter. You clearly understand that you are incompetent at this and you need a lawyer, which is a good decision. It's the best decision I've ever seen Chili make. It just annoys me that he's lying about it because of his ego. Discordant Vol says, and now I shall flee the state for completely unrelated reasons. Wouldn't be the first time.
It's just dog poo on a stick. And so this time though, what I've done in my federal civil rights lawsuits is what I'm trying to do is establish your right to film cops. I'm trying through these lawsuits, and remember, I'm in 5 lawsuits. So I'm trying to
How they going? Again, anyone can file a lawsuit. People have filed lawsuits against God. Right? I don't understand people who feel that just filing a lawsuit in and of itself is like a thing. You can do that. That doesn't mean it's taken seriously. I forget who said it, but basically I heard a lawyer once say that a lawsuit is basically a tweet with a filing fee. Anyone can write anything and the court will accept it. But it'll probably get thrown out if it has no merit, which I imagine most of his lawsuits, if not all of them, do not have.
Make it so that if you decide to pick up a camera and film these cops, that they can't say, oh, this is your first warning. Because I know a guy who I met at the gym, and he told me, he said, he walked up to me and he said, hey man, I watch your channel, I'm a big fan. And then he said, listen, I tried to go and audit cops like you do, and the cop got in my face and threatened me he was gonna arrest me. He said, and so I put my phone away and I left because I don't want to go to jail. So that's the purpose of what I do, is so that the regular guy like Jay will not be shouted down by a pigger when he's...
Guys, he's super interested in protecting the civil rights of minorities while also creating a derivation of a racial slur used against them for centuries and describing it to the police. See what I mean? He clearly doesn't give a shit. He just wants attention.
Filming an interaction between police and citizens. And that's the whole reason I do what I do. So that you can film cops and these dirty jackboot thug pigs, they can't mess with you. So, and then I guess, you know, since I have this platform, let me just give a real quick message to the people who are involved in court cases with me. There's another shoe about to drop. So, I hope you're ready for this one. I'm about to twist it a little bit. You guys decided to mess with me and have me sue you, and everybody said, oh, sue me, Chili, sue me. Ask the people who are being sued how much fun they're having right now. I'm not going to go into detail.
Probably not a lot. You're a vexatious litigant, so probably a pain in the ass.
But they're getting their ass handed to them. And
they're really not, Chili. He just gets off on making, like, people annoyed. The fact that they have to deal with his frivolous lawsuits, he's like, yes, I'm annoying those people. I'm winning. You're not winning. You just look like a jackass.
I'm turning up the heat. I got something else going right now. Because I won't just sue you in one state, I'll sue you in 2 states. Because I have standing in 2 states. Your state and my state. So,
is that how that works? I think it usually has to be the offense has to be in the place where the offense took place. Can you sue in your own state because you're a resident? But then again, Chili says he's not a resident of any state. He moves around. Legally, he might be a resident, but not really. Whatever. Black's Law Dictionary. Gamergy, what do you want me to look up? Competent to stand trial or competency competent? Will do.
I warned him. I gave him fair warning.
Discordant Vol says you have admitted on camera that you sue people with the intent to drain finances and waste their time. Yeah, it's gross. People should start countersuing him, honestly.
Hey, settle up with me. Let's walk away from this. They decided they didn't want to. All right, fair enough. See, but so now...
It's like he's a mob boss. He just threatens people.
Understand this. What that does, though, when I have to sue individuals who are bootlickers, copsuckers, or just trolls on the internet, that takes me away from the time I would spend suing Sergeant Martinez. And that's what you guys need me to do. You don't need me to sue these loser trolls who, I mean, look at how bad this guy is. He's a frauditor. What about you, bro? You're a loser on the internet doing nothing, dude.
Irony. Where is it? There we go, we're getting there.
Do something with your life besides talk about other people. Be a newsmaker. If you're not a newsmaker, then you're just talking about other people.
Yes, I prefer that. I don't like to entangle myself in legal matters unnecessarily because I am not a goddamn psycho.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not, but I really don't talk about other people very much. It just doesn't come out of my mouth. I do.
That is objectively untrue. What are you talking about? You talk about people all the goddamn time. Chromatic Cuttlefish says he's a resident of the great state of denial.
Say exactly how I feel, and I said on my live stream the other day on the Chris Jeffries podcast exactly how I feel about some of these people within this so-called community.
Hydrate.
But the truth is that there are very few newsmakers and there's a bunch of reporters. That's a fact.
He thinks him getting arrested multiple times is a good thing. I should be shocked, but I'm not. Discordant Vol says, sue him for what? He has nothing. He's the worst kind of litigant, too broke to sue and does nothing but sue people. He begs his audience for money to sue people.
And so, if you want to be a newsmaker, you got to get a mission. You got to get a...
I do not want to be a newsmaker. I'm good.
Journey, a path, and then you got to go down that path. The reason why this...
Competency, the mental ability to understand problems and make decisions. 2. A criminal defendant's ability to stand trial measured by the capacity to understand the proceedings, to consult meaningfully with counsel, and to assist in the defense.
Channel's growing at 35, 40,000 subscribers every month is because there's a journey to...
I gotta imagine, this isn't a specific claim, these are hypotheses. It makes me wonder... Actually, let me take a look at this. I'm curious, because I don't know if you guys know this, but there are websites that you shouldn't go to that I think are wrong and stupid and make you look like a jackass if you use them. But there are websites that you can buy subscribers and stuff. And it makes me wonder, does Chili outright buy, like, bot subscribers? Because, like, this video is 6.4 thousand views. He supposedly has 159,000 subscribers. I'm just saying, it seems low ratio of viewers versus subscribers. And I would imagine people who... See, this is 2 hours old, 490 views. Like, my videos get that on YouTube, and I only have, like, 15,000 subscribers or something. He gets some real comments. A lot of it's people making fun of him. So I think a great deal is, A, hate watching, or thinking he's interesting as a lol cow, kind of like what we're doing. And secondly, he may or may not be botting his channel. I'm not making any specific allegations. That's a hard thing to prove if you don't have the back-end information. But either way. You went over his stats last night. His subs are 19% live and 81% dead. That's a little sus.
Follow here. There's a path you can follow. We're trying to overturn Terry versus Ohio. We're trying to get cameras in the courtroom. There's a path.
You're thinking seriously about building a virtual machine farm to boost viewers on Twitch, I like? I understand you probably have, like, good intentions with that. But just so you know, that might hurt the streamers you like, because a lot of that stuff gets picked up by Twitch or YouTube, and then they might think that that person is doing it intentionally, and you could get that person in trouble. So I wouldn't recommend you do that. Twitch and YouTube have gotten pretty good at spotting bots, so they get removed pretty quick. It's probably not helpful, is what I'm saying. I can't tell you what to do, I just, you know, it's probably not as helpful as you would think. Maybe 10 years ago, but these companies are pretty up to date on, you know, combating that kind of thing.
Journey. We're trying to make it so that if you go out and you film cops, that the cop doesn't walk up to you and say, hey, that's your first warning. Hey, that's your second warning. Hey, Sergeant Martinez, you're warning me for what, bud? What are you warning me for, bud? I'm not sure what the warning is for. You're too close, Phil.
Okay. I think we get it. Chili's having a fit over the fact that his lawsuit, or rather, not his lawsuit, his criminal case is moving forward.
Welcome to the Dummy Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video takes us to the Tucson City Court located in Arizona. We'll be watching a group of First Amendment auditors recording their own court appearance, then upon leaving...
Let me just put it this way, Naughty Fox. Myself, if someone came to me and said they were going to do that, I would beg them not to. I would not want someone doing that to my channel. It would make me feel bad. I would not want that. I can't speak for all streamers, but of the ones I know, I can't imagine any of them would appreciate it. Just putting it out there.
Made to exit the entire courthouse under threat of arrest. You will hear them spouting off a state statute that covers the use of portable devices, including recording, in the courtrooms, as well as the rules throughout the entire courthouse. Were their actions lawful? Did the officer overstep his authority by removing them? Let's watch to find out. The first clip goes straight into one of their hearings inside of the actual courtroom, where there's a quick discussion about recording.
All right, Mr. Brown, come on up and get your paperwork.
You got some positive feedback from creators? That's their business and your business. All I'm gonna say is please do not ever do that to my channel. I ask that as a favor. Please don't ever do that to my channel. I would not like that to happen. I would like to grow normally. So please don't bot me. But what you do with other people, that's your business. That's you guys.
I want to know if these guidelines were in effect before that she sent that letter. She added that for me. So they can make any guidelines they want, that's my problem. They'll change the guidelines.
I can't answer that for you, sir. I do not know the answer to that.
Oh, I do know.
Oh, we're done. As soon as you get your paperwork, you can be excused.
Okay, I have a real quick question. So the videos you guys got here, this is audio and video.
This is just audio, I'm not videotaping. We're not videotaping.
So they got the open.
This is my Zoom. It's
Yeah.
not videotaping.
So they're okay.
No.
All right.
That's a boomer moment. He didn't recognize Zoom or know what it was. And I'm aware that you can record Zoom phone calls, but I don't think she was.
They got cameras in here though. I was just wondering how I get that.
Yeah, they're not recording. Have somebody on Zoom.
I'm assuming this guy is going to get in trouble. You're not supposed to film in court like this, generally. Isn't that a kid's science show on PBS? Zoom was more than a science show. Hold on. I used to like Zoom. I'm just saying. Check out how much this slaps. This was the intro when I was a kid, though I know the show existed, I think, in the 70s, too. But I watched the 90s, early 2000s Zoom. Come on and Zoom. It's very 90s. It's a variety show for kids that was on PBS that included educational segments, skits, jokes, craft ideas, how to do crafts or different at-home experiments. I liked educational TV as a kid. I was a dork. I used to watch this and Bill Nye and Beekman's World and Magic School Bus. I loved this shit.
I'm Zoe.
Oh yeah, they all did the I'm whatever. I always wanted to do this.
Hey, I'm Jared.
Zaboomafoo. Zaboomafoo was good.
I'm Pablo.
I was adorkable. I'm adorkable now.
I'm Elisa. I'm David. And I'm Lanique. We're all plugged into one world now. So let's talk. We want to hear from you. Come on, give it a try. And if you like what you see, turn off the
TV and do it. No, Bill Nye was on TV for a period. I don't remember what channel it was on. They have their address in the song, I think, too. It used to be burned into my brain, but I forgot it. Oh, maybe they don't. Maybe it's in the end theme. Oh shit, Zaboomafoo! You guys remember Zab had a real lemur, too. But at the beginning of every show, he'd be a normal lemur, and then he'd get, like, on a thing, and it would spin around, and it would be the puppet, clearly. I think, like, he was a normal lemur, and they'd give him, like, a special treat, and it turned him into the puppet one that could talk. One more thing. One other PBS thing. Can we do old theme songs for a stream? That would be fun. Maybe tomorrow we'll do like a VHS stream and watch theme songs and old nostalgic TV show stuff. I'm in the mood for it. I love Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff. Oh, Dancing Smarty Pants was...
Hey! Oh yeah! Listen up, you guys and gals, going round up all your pals. Gonna teach you a brand new dance. You can do it with your mother, you can do it with your brother, your uncles, or your aunts. That's very, very spunky. You can do it with a monkey or an anthill.
When do we get to the hand puppet phase?
Doesn't matter if you're clunky, you'll be hip and you'll be funky when you dance in smarty pants. Watch me now, hey, ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. Ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. Ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. One more time. Ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. Ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. Ooh, ah, dance in smarty pants. Oh, thank you, girls. Well, snakes make advance.
Just terrible. Just terrible. Okay, back to the SovCit.
Unfortunately for his viewers and mine, the context of this video is lacking at the beginning, but my guess is that he rolled in and started recording without taking the necessary steps. According to Rule 122 of the Arizona Supreme Court, the rule does allow the use of recording devices in a courtroom subject to specified requirements and limitations. It says a person who wishes to use a recording device during a proceeding must submit a written or electronic request to cover the proceeding. First up are the requirements for submission. Basically, that requirement is the person must submit the request to the actual judge who will conduct the proceeding. Next up is the time limit for submission. It simply states a person must submit a request sufficiently in advance of the proceeding to allow the judge to consider it in a timely manner. And there's a specific court action that takes place once that is submitted, and the judge will promptly hold a hearing if the judge intends to deny the request or a portion of the request, or if a party objects to a request. There has to be ample time for a party to object. That part of the rule says a party waives an objection to a request for coverage of a proceeding if the party does not object to the request in writing or on the record no later than the start of the proceeding. And finally, victims or witnesses may object to coverage of their appearance or testimony at any time. So after going through this process that Rule 122 lays out, a judge may allow coverage as requested or may, after making specific on-the-record findings, deny all or certain parts of the request. What's about to happen next leads me to believe that
all seems fair to preserve the privacy of others. Yeah, I've thought a lot about cameras in courtrooms. Generally, I think it's not a good idea. I I think when you put something on TV, especially in the United States where a lot of judges are elected, which isn't a good thing, I don't want people performing for an audience. I don't want court to become this, like, show thing. But I think sometimes it goes over the line, and, like, things are so in the public interest that they should be filmed. For instance, something relevant to today, the Trump trial, that should probably be filmed. That should probably be filmed. Or, like, any representative of the state, whether it's federal or literal state, should probably be filmed, because, again, they're supposed to be public servants. I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
He didn't take any of these steps that are required.
So, oh yeah. Oh, I can leave that here. Come back and get it in an hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me that.
Did you hear that one where they fought the murder in the city hall today?
Oh yeah, the Trump trial is not going to be filmed, as far as I know. I think they already said that there's not going to be any sort of filming or anything.
49563.
All right, because I'm going to request your body cam.
You can't videotape in here, okay?
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, we can. It says it here.
Yeah, I got one. I got it right here. It says, yeah, that ain't nothing. I got the Supreme Court Rule 122.1 and 122.1, and it says video recording is allowed. That's unconstitutional. We're in the federal court on that.
It's not considered unconstitutional. Courts have a lot of leeway in determining the rules for the court. Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm just letting you know that it says in here.
Yeah, that doesn't mean nothing. 122 point says in the courthouse, video recording is allowed. Are you video recording?
Do you know
yes.
What,
so
you were video recording
yeah.
today, weren't you?
Listen to me.
So I'm gonna ask for your video.
They're talking about classified info in the Trump case, but like already in the indictment they redacted some of the information, which is funny because it was obvious in at least one instance they were talking about Iran, but they still said like country A. We know you're talking about Iran. It's fine.
I don't really care about.
But yes, I'm sure a lot of the stuff will be sensitive. But a jury has to hear the case too, and they don't have clearance. So I imagine specifics will probably be redacted, but the prosecution will do their best. They'll probably do their best in order to convey the seriousness of the documents without being overly specific. At least that's how the indictment looked.
What you say?
You were recording today, weren't you?
It says it's further ordered that law enforcement officers
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you can and we can't. You have the First Amendment right and you don't?
Yeah.
Do you know what the Constitution says?
I'm asking you guys.
Yeah. So it says right here, 122.1. We're leaving anyway, guys. So get away from me. Get away from me, guys. Go bother someone else. Hey, let's take the elevator. It doesn't.
So the rule I read earlier was Rule 122, which covers portable electronic devices in the courtroom itself. Rule 122.1, the one he's referring to now, is use of portable electronic devices in the courthouse itself. More on that in a second.
Hey, Vernon. Let him go. Stand here. I need to talk to you, Vernon.
To be clear, the Supreme Court has already said that your First Amendment rights can be curtailed via time and place restrictions. You have a right to, like, speak and redress your government and petition and protest and do journalism, right to the press or whatever. That doesn't mean you're allowed to film in any building you want ever. That is not what that means.
Yeah. Just follow your own rules.
Don't follow him.
Yeah, this is one of the sovereign citizen types.
Hey, Roy. Yeah. So Roy,
I gotta get my car.
I'm gonna follow the oath breaker.
Hey, so Roy. So anyway, so are you telling me that I can't record, or you're gonna arrest me, sir? Are you saying that? Are you gonna arrest me?
Yeah.
Are you gonna arrest me, sir?
For video recording? Break out your handcuffs.
Hey, Roy.
Break out your handcuffs.
Hey, Roy.
Aren't you supposed to support the Constitution?
So every single one should be asked to leave under threat of arrest. And I was going to do a press conference right here.
Is that what the case is? If you reported to?
Yeah, I was going to do a press
Thanks, Real
conference
Radham.
right
How
here.
you doing?
So wait a second.
You do contact juggling, right? I just got back into juggling, normal juggling. I started in high school, but I haven't done it in a long time. I tried contact juggling, but it was fucking scary. So do you have any recommendations on ways to start trying contact juggling? I used to have some balls for it, but I don't anymore. The acrylic ones or whatever. Oh, there's a juggle command, so I gotta keep going. Cool.
As you could hear one of the First Amendment auditors saying, why don't you read your own effing rule? Well, I'll do that, as it's quite simple. Photography, audio recording, and video recording in a courthouse are permitted.
There are
but
sticky light
the
ones that
following
are good for
restrictions
practice?
apply.
Okay.
Skipping down to number 2, outside of a courtroom, in areas of a courthouse other than the courtrooms, no one may photograph or record an individual without the individual's express consent. The rule is really simple. It's not in place to just wander around the courthouse recording everything and everyone you come in contact with. However, he did, because throughout the video, he sure didn't get this guy's permission to record him, or this group of women here that were trying to leave. What about this gentleman in the back? Nope, didn't speak to him either. Or these women trying to conduct business, or her, or even her. I think you get my point.
Hey, Vernon.
You're a local order, your own local rules that says you're not supposed to stop us. Are you aware of that? Just answer
Say,
yes or no.
so I'm asking a question.
Instead of holding up that,
If I don't leave, are you going to arrest me, sir?
instead of holding up that,
I'm asking if you're going to arrest
do
me.
you know your local rule says you're not supposed to arrest us? Yes or no? You don't have to answer our question. Just order us around.
See, if you wouldn't have came and talked to us, we was leaving.
Come on, Mark.
I need to get juggling clubs, too.
No.
I got into juggling initially partially because I saw Penn Jillette do it. And he's a pretty good juggler. And I want to have some pins to juggle.
I want to wait a second.
I gotta get going. I got things to do.
Kitafushigi. Didn't that company get sued? Yeah, a lot of the time these people travel in groups now, or at least a pair, because I think they recognize that they're getting arrested more often.
He ain't said under arrest yet.
You do many circus things, contact juggling is hard, takes a while, start learning body rolls with a silicone stage ball, or a nice round orange, begin with balance points, palm, back of hand, divots, and arm, and the moving the ball from point to point. Alright, I'll try and find one.
That's all
So, hey, sir, I just want to ask one, you answered me that question.
Yeah, we'll leave.
So,
Oh, yo-yos are fun. I used to do yo-yos. I used to do some yo-yo tricks.
if I'm recording, you're going to arrest me.
I should have known I had ADHD so much sooner. Just lots of little weird things I did. I can pogo stick real good, too. I did like 1,000 jumps on a pogo stick once. I used to be able to pogo stick just holding it between my legs and not actually holding on. So the impressive thing now would be to pogo stick while juggling. That would be nice. Thank you, Real Radham. I appreciate it.
That's all I want to know. If you say yes, I leave right now.
I've never done a unicycle. I wanted to as a kid, but unicycles, even cheap ones, are relatively expensive. Juggling balls are a cheap thing to get, you know? Pogo stick isn't too bad either, but...
Yes, it says in here.
So you're going to arrest me?
You're going to arrest us if we don't stop recording.
That's all I want to know. Say yes, I'm out of here.
He just said yes.
He did say yes. But I want to, you meant yes, right? You're going to arrest me if I don't leave, sir. Hello?
This whole quote
Sorry,
made
I
the
gotta
leave
see
on your
whatever
credit.
this is. Oh, I think someone actually, I don't mean to spoil something. I think someone sent me something very similar to this in the P.O. box. I haven't actually opened it yet, but I looked up the name on the return address and it was from a company that makes stuff like that. So when we do the P.O. unboxing, I probably do have one. I just haven't opened it yet. Lampita says, don't feel too bad. Took me having a kid and my kid's teacher suggesting testing for me to get a diagnosis in my 40s. I was just quote unquote weird my whole life before. Yeah.
Of arrest always makes me laugh a little bit. How many times have we heard it from these auditors? I believe they think it sets themselves...
Do Amazon wishlist items go to the P.O. box? No, those go directly to my house.
...up better for suing, yet I've not once, out of the thousands of times I've heard them ask this question, seen one actually sue for having to leave an area under, quote, threat of arrest.
Yeah, you're going to arrest me if I don't leave, right? Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So then I already received what you sent? Yes, if that was you, yes, I got it. I'm waiting for more P.O. box stuff so we can do a big unboxing with, like, multiple items and stuff. So, don't know when that'll happen. But the more stuff you guys send to the P.O. box, the sooner we can do a P.O. box stream. Speaking of which, here's the command.
He's going to arrest me if I don't leave. I got it plain and clear out. He was just kind of talking around it, wasn't he?
What is he doing? What? Sir, what are you doing, sir?
Oh, shoot.
Why is he fastening his belt? What in the fuck is this?
It doesn't matter.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Did I
Alright then.
have to include the last 20 seconds of this video showing this man pulling up his pants and trying to buckle his belt?
Did I ever see the video of the one rejecting U.S. law and trying to force himself inside the courtroom? The one where he gets tased? Yeah, I've seen that one. It's pretty good. What was this one? Oh, this is weird. You guys know Glenn Serio? Do I like Breaking Bad? I love Breaking Bad. Send me anything you want. You don't even have to ask. If it's legal and safe, send it to me. I love receiving weird bullshit. I don't care what it is. Books, movies, anything. Safe and legal, send it to me. And don't send me trash. That's not funny. But, like, you know, stuff. Anyway, it seems like, you know how Glenn, the last few videos we've been watching, he's been at the airport on many separate occasions? I'm starting to wonder, is Glenn living in the airport? I'm wondering if he's maybe trying to live in the airport, which is kind of concerning. I feel bad, but also, you know, you've seen him harass other people and be a homophobic misogynist, so, like, you know, he's not the person I feel the most bad for, but still, not fun when people don't have a place to stay. Of course, he's defensive and weird about it.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Oh,
is your sister inside?
Is she in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on with you? She's a little concerned.
I don't know.
Gamergy, I would love that. If you want to send it to me, I would love it forever. I love weird shit like that, guys. Weird, like, pop cultural ephemera, or, like, pseudoscience stuff, nonsense. I love it. I love all sorts of bullshit. Send it to me. Send me everything.
You tell me. What did she tell you? I don't know.
She's a little concerned about your mental health.
She can be concerned about my mental health. I don't have a problem.
In fairness to her, that's not uncommon. I think anyone who's spent 5 minutes with Glenn is concerned about his mental health.
Want help from us? Do you want us to take you to any psychiatric help?
Nope.
Any
I don't need.
Nope. You don't need any of that?
Nothing like that.
What's your name?
Do I need to give you my name?
You don't have to. You gotta get it from your sister.
I'd rather not give it to you.
Okay. Fair enough.
So.
All right. Just.
Where did that other ball go?
Let you know you can't live at the airport. Okay?
I'm not living at the airport.
Okay.
She said she's picking me up.
Normally, I'm trying to get rid of my balls. This is the first time I've lost one.
Lied, so.
She's inside.
Okay.
J-Ronimus says, I have a Morbius DVD that I got for losing a magic draft. It's been sitting in my car for months because I don't want it in my house. You want it? Although I may decide to keep it in my car to continue the meme. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done on stream, and I'm wearing a maid outfit currently. I own Morbius on 4K. I own the film Morbius on 4K Ultra HD. I'm a movie collector, and in particular, one of the things I collect is Marvel movies. I own almost all of them. So, yes, it was my 1000th Blu-ray. It was my 1000th Blu-ray title was Morbius on 4K. Judge me if you must.
Yeah, but she's not picking me up, obviously, right?
I don't know what her plan is. My other partner's talking to her.
Okay, but if she lied to you, then that's a crime, right?
No.
It's not a crime to lie to a cop.
No, not
not about that.
Okay.
Listen, are you having any thoughts of danger to
Come on.
yourself or others?
Come on, Ben. Let's be honest here. I mean, I don't want to like hurt your feelings, but look, I have hair. I have a beard. Okay, you don't have any hair. Just saying. Like, do you like if I approached a girl, do you think a girl would go out with me before you? Honestly.
No, Glenn, and I do not like to talk about people's looks. I don't. But when I'm defending someone, because Glenn is clearly making fun of this guy, reminder that Glenn Serio is this guy, if the image wants to load. I'm just saying, I think he maybe has a false sense of confidence that isn't earned here. Maybe.
I'm just being honest with you.
This guy looks like Mr. Clean and Seth Rogen had a baby. Do I have all the Left Behind DVDs? I have none of them. If you want to send me them, please. Bubble Homestead says, maybe don't date a cop. Bad statistics, but probably don't date this particular Glenn either. Yeah.
Do you think that you could score a girl better than me?
Adam Sessler-ass cop. Does he also hate the Dragon Ball games?
I have no idea.
Okay, so why would I want to hurt myself?
Hold on, I don't know.
No,
Have I ever met you?
I don't care if you met me. You're going off some idiot that's telling you random shit.
Right.
And she's been sitting here for an hour telling me she's gonna pick me up.
Okay, hold on. Let me explain something. If you pointed out
Forbidden Zone is on Blu-ray. I don't own it, but I've seen it.
that guy that says he's thinking about hurting himself,
It might be out of print, though.
I would go over and ask the guy, hey, are you having any issues? Can we help you? Are you thinking about hurting yourself? Are you thinking about hurting anybody else?
Do you understand that that's a crime?
And if he said no, I'd be on my way.
Okay.
That's it.
But you understand
So
that's
are
a
you
crime
good?
what she did.
Are you good?
I'm perfectly fine. I have no problem.
Her stating she's concerned for your mental health is not a crime, Glenn.
Wait, can I get your name and back up?
He, like, fucked up his whole life. It's so sad.
Who are you?
For those who don't know, Glenn fucked with the police a lot, and then he went to the police department and stalked the police that arrested him. Like, literally, he was going around the back of the police station and filming in the windows of the police station. Which, I don't know if you know this. Don't do that. The cops don't want you to do that. He also, like, mimed shooting a cop. Like, he literally had his hand in his pocket as a cop was approaching, and he went like this. Which is the dumbest thing you can do, because cops are looking for an excuse to shoot you anyway. He's dumb. He's really dumb. And he's racist, which we've seen before. He's a racist, homophobic, bigoted, just sexist piece of shit. He's terrible. But unfortunately, I have empathy, so anyone who might be homeless makes me so sad, even if he is a piece of shit.
This is Chris Talley.
Okay.
9012.
Perfect. Are you familiar with YouTube?
What?
Are you familiar with YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he familiar with YouTube? YouTube's been around for 18 years, Glenn. YouTube can drink in most of the world. People know about YouTube.
TikTok too.
You'll be on it.
TikTok too.
You will be on it. Sorry about your hair.
Anyway, it's just weird that he keeps going to the airport and all his videos are at the airport. Really makes me wonder, is he living there? I don't know.
Good family, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Now look.
This is Tuquain. We've covered him before. He teaches people how to do credit card fraud, which is not a good thing to do, believe it or not.
So I want to break this down as best way I can, right? So this is for all convicted felons, right? This video is strictly for convicted felons, those who just came out of prison or been out of prison for years, those who are on probation or anything like that. Right?
Whatever he's going to say is going to be terrible advice, probably, and there's a decent chance he's going to ruin someone's life with this. If you're out and on probation, it's hard enough. This guy's advice is going to get you put back in prison. Makes me sad that this guy's still out giving terrible advice to people that's going to get him thrown in jail.
Right. So I'm getting a lot of questions and concerns, right? So a lot of people who felons, they ask me, man, how was you a convicted felon and you was able to purchase a firearm? Let me explain. So,
Oh, I didn't know he was committing that crime.
When you apply for the passport as being a non-citizen national, and you in the Department of State actually process that application, and you get your status back in the pass.
If you try and get the government to give you a non-citizen, what did he call it specifically? One sec.
The Department of State.
Non-citizen national. That only applies if you're from one of the protectorates of the United States. So like Puerto Rico, if you're from Puerto Rico, you are a non-citizen resident, right? Or whatever, a state whatever the fuck you want to call it. This guy isn't. He's committing fraud. He's telling people to commit fraud against the federal government. And I don't know if you know anything about the federal government. They don't like to be defrauded. The federal government is big. It'll take a long, long time for their errors to be missed if you slip it through. But they will find it. And they will destroy your life. Not worth it. Not a good look to advertise felonies. Agreed.
They actually process that application, and you get your status back, and the passport come back as do not stop, do not detain, do not arrest.
That's not a thing.
What it does is it remove your name and social security number and personal information from all government attack systems.
No, government systems aren't centralized like that. Many of them rely on 30-year-old technology. They're not all connected like a movie.
So the police cannot open your criminal background or anything like that once your passport is ran. So when you run your passport, through the feds and ATF and everything like that, when they do a actual background check, they search up that passport ID number. Once they search that
He's basically telling people to construct a fake identity to buy firearms surreptitiously when they're not allowed to by federal law. Which is illegal.
Passport ID number is nothing that's going to come back.
This is called synthetic identity fraud, by the way. It's treated as seriously as normal identity fraud.
So it automatically is going to approve the application. So once it approved the application, yes, you have your firearm, right? Now, this is what people also ask. Hey, is this legal? Now,
no, it's not. Thank you for asking.
Of course it's lawful.
Discordant Vol says, hey, check out this guy's crime. Sound of walking colossus.
But
Bittergrin says, looks like non-citizen nationals are American Samoa and Swain Islands only. I apologize. Puerto Rico and Guam are U.S. citizens. I apologize, then. Dr. Worm says, I do criminal background checks for a living and can confirm that this is not how anything works. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Any other, how... Have you ever caught someone trying to do this? Create a fake identity to get past a background check? Real Radham says, I just encountered a new threshold for whack jobs, bad consequences. One of my favorite psychics to cover created the UFO story that Heaven's Gate used to rationalize their mass suicide. Courtney Brown of the Farsight Institute. Oh, yikes. Yikerinos. That's not good.
Is it legal in a sense? Does the
Hype Train, 28% to level 1.
Federal government allows it? No. But you still have the right.
They do? That's a shame.
To operate outside of their jurisdiction. Everybody has the right to operate outside their jurisdiction. So as long as you're a convicted felon and the state doesn't meet any minimum contracts and you have no contracts in the state where you live at or where you used to.
If you live in the state, you live in the state. What are you talking about? There isn't some threshold of interacting with the police where the laws start to apply to you.
Reside in, then you're a complete sovereign man. So when people
no one is sovereign. That's not how this works.
Ask me questions. Oh man, is this illegal? Listen, you cannot try to be a sovereign and be a slave at the same time. As long as you don't cause any injuries, you don't hurt anyone or anything like that, consider yourself a free man. You can do whatever you want to do. Yes.
This guy's gonna end up in prison. Such bad prison. Can I get some vinaigrette for this word salad?
You can carry any gun you like. You can purchase any firearm you like. But the only thing I always must tell you is you must make sure you cancel all contracts with the state. Now, as far as like you being a convicted felon and stuff like that, you have all your absolute rights. So at the same time when they told you, oh sir, yeah, now you're a convicted felon, you can never purchase a firearm. That's false, because I purchased one and I'm a double felon. All right.
You can often get away with crime for a while. That doesn't mean it's legal just because you're getting away with it right now. That's not how this works. Oh, this guy. I feel bad, too, because he did a community post a while back that I read where he was talking about his dad, and his dad apparently taught him all this stuff. This guy had no chance. His dad was doing this shit and taught it to him. Fucking sucks. Discordant Vol says, recording your crime on the bingo card? That'll do it. 40% to level 1 in the hype train.
So, yes, you can purchase firearms as being a convicted felon. And also, people ask this question. Hey, can I get a passport as being a convicted felon? Yes, I got a passport as being a convicted felon. Anybody can get a passport as being a convicted felon as long as you don't have child support that's over $5,000 and you don't have any criminal warrants. If you have any warrants or child support that will stop you from...
Right, but you're telling them to lie on the passport application form and say that they're not a citizen, which the majority of your audience likely are based on the 14th Amendment.
Getting any
Minute left
will
on the
stop you
hype
from
train.
getting a passport. Another thing that will stop you from getting passports, if you have a tax lien against you that's over $100,000. So
ooh, Maria Z. I'll have to look her up. I've not heard of her.
You owe back taxes and
you can anonymously report him. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
IRS back.
If anyone else wants to, that's your business. I don't know.
Out for a tax lien against you, for $100,000 and better, you can't get a passport. Now that tax lien will eventually go off your record after like 7 to 10 years, right? So if it goes off your record.
He tells people to buy cars with false identities and then not pay for it, by the way. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Appreciate it. You're always so generous with the gift subs.
After 7, 10 years, then you can go ahead and apply for a passport. Then they will approve it because the IRS will charge off the debt. So, yeah, for the most part, yes, convicted felons can do all the things and above, but you still want to know how to live in the private and how to operate in the private, because people got to understand the legal system.
Like, I wouldn't even care quite as, like, if he was just outright and said, these are crimes, these are crimes, and you're committing fraud against the federal government and potential state governments. Like, if he outright said that, I'd be like, that's a bad idea, but I'd move on, you know? What annoys me is that he is telling his audience, who, I'm just gonna be honest, are probably pretty stupid. If you're listening to this guy, it's kind of like really badly worded email scams, where it kind of selects out for people who are more gullible. It's like that. I assume a lot of his audience are gullible or desperate people who want to find a way to rise above the system that we are in that often puts people down and doesn't give them opportunities. But he's lying to them and saying all this stuff's legal, and it's just not. It's just not. He's gonna get so many people in trouble.
System and the lawful system is two different things. When you operating within the means of the Constitution, so you have to separate yourself from the legislative form of government. So the
you literally cannot do that. You literally cannot do that. You can't do that.
Legislative form of government have this opinion about how law should be. The constitutional aspect have this position. But as long as you always operating like a United States federal citizen with all contracts with the state, you're going to get treated like a U.S. citizen. But when you operate outside the jurisdiction, there's nothing the police can do. There's nothing that the district attorney can do. There's nothing no one can do. You got to understand this.
You are under, just de facto, you are under the authority of whatever jurisdiction you're in. Because that's how jurisdiction works. If someone has jurisdiction over an area, presumably they have the ability to use force to make you do what they want. So if you're in America, let's say you're in a random state, Arizona, whether you're a citizen or not, whatever you call yourself, you're still bound to the laws of that state and the country. It doesn't matter if you're a citizen. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. The state has power. They have courts, they have cops, they are going to use them. You can try and think your way out of this and philosophize your way out of this as much as you want. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Discordant Vol says, I've managed a 100% success rate on the faking phishing emails that the IT department at work sends out thanks to my scam awareness. Well, that's good. GamerG says, we've seen so many chuds skirt the line of illegality and threats, but this guy is constantly telling everyone how to do fraud with specific details. His channel archive is going to make a federal prosecutor very happy one day, right?
Every reason why we
Maybe I should report him. I wonder if I'd get a reward.
get charged, get sent to court, and everything like that is all consensual. It's all consensual, y'all. So you agree to the term, oh, yeah, I'm a
sophistry has a hard time with bullets.
felon, I can own a firearm. Well, you just agreed to that. Anybody got the right to keep and bear arms.
No, they don't. You can physically do so if it's in your possession. That doesn't make it legal.
But you have to operate outside of their jurisdiction. Minimum context is the reason why all police can make an arrest. If y'all don't know what minimum context is, I'm gonna explain it again. Minimum context is your connection with the state. So if you have...
Oh, this stupid motherfucker. That exists for jurisdiction of court cases. Like, a minimum contact in this, like, in the actual context of reality would be, oh, there's a business in Arizona that sells t-shirts, and I'm suing them, and they have minimum contact with the state of Arizona because that's where they reside, that's where their business is, that's where they're registered. That's the minimum contact necessary to show that that should be in that jurisdiction. You're always under some jurisdiction. There's virtually nowhere on the planet where there isn't someone in charge, even if it's, like, unfair, right? Like, imagine going to North Korea and being like, I'm sovereign, I just don't agree with your laws. They'll fucking kill you. Like, I don't understand. I understand that it might be like... For some people, it might just be frustrating to understand that effectively we live in a society where we are a very small part, and an individual has little power, virtually none, against the monolith that is the state. But just being like, I'm just gonna ignore it and they can't do anything, that's delusional. That's completely delusional. You can, like, do protests, and you could even if you want, I don't think it's a good idea, but if you want to intentionally break the law for some reason, that's your business. It's probably not gonna end well for you, but whatever. What annoys me is the delusion. This idea that what they're doing is legal in some way is wild to me. It just implies such a lack of understanding of how anything works in the world. Discordant Vol says, I don't know. The cat-made streamer nabs serial fundraise fraudster headline may be reward enough.
A driver's license, state ID.
Bottom text. I'm not text.
Registration, voter's registration. You consider yourself to be subjected to the jurisdiction. If you have any real mortgage lien on any real property within the state, consider your home to have REM jurisdiction, and they can come in your house anytime they please, and they can kick in your door, and a judge and a county judge can sign off on a bogus search warrant just so they can see what's in your house. Always protect yourself, y'all, at all times. Other thing I want to touch bases on. So if you're a convicted felon, yes, you got the right to travel, you got the right to keep and bear arms. What else you can do? About anything you want.
Just do whatever you want. Good advice. Good advice.
It really no limitation. I just wanted to clear this up for a lot of people who are felons who thinking about changing their status. It won't affect.
He's gonna get so many people in trouble.
Them. No, they won't get arrested after they change their status. No, it's not really a big of a deal. So some people think this, if I change my status...
Legitimately, he's going to convince people to try and do fraud in applying for a passport, and even if they get it, they're going to, like, stop seeing their parole officer or something because they don't think they have to anymore because of this fucking idiot. And they're going to end up back in jail.
Will my whole life change? Like, would the government recognize me as I change my status? No, it's really a jurisdictional thing, y'all. Jurisdiction has nothing to do with being the government being notified or the state being notified. It's just you operating outside of the jurisdiction. So
there is no way to be outside of their jurisdiction the way you are describing. You are a U.S. citizen. They have jurisdiction. Even if you weren't, you're within the purview of their area. You're doing things in the United States, in their state. You are under their jurisdiction.
Convicted felon, yes, you can have a firearm outside of their jurisdiction. Yes, as a convicted felon, you can travel on the roads without a license, without.
No, you can't. Not
outside of the
legally.
jurisdiction. As a convicted felon, yeah, you can do all these things.
It's like this guy thinks that legality works like Grand Theft Auto, and that if you commit a crime, cops immediately spawn a block away and start chasing you. But since that hasn't happened and he hasn't been caught yet, he's like, it must be legal. The cops haven't magically spawned in front of me. It's not how things work.
You can do all of these things and above as long as you operating outside of the territorial boundaries of the District of Columbia. Remember this, you don't live in any fictitious address nor zip code. You never provide a social security number to any police officer. This is them trying to get a contractual waiver out of you. Another thing, what else you want to do?
They're probably trying to identify you if you refuse to identify yourself by name, if they're asking for that.
You never admit that you're a United States federal citizen. You're American.
It's irrelevant.
If anything, because people
You can be anything you want. You're in the United States. They're still gonna get you.
This up. U.S. citizenship with being American. Being American is being a natural born citizen of the United States of America.
Right. You're a natural born citizen. Again, the 14th Amendment. So you're a citizen.
Being a U.S. citizen is being a citizen of the District of Columbia, which...
No, it is not.
...will be the federal United States.
It's literally anyone who was born in the United States.
So you want to make sure people don't get that confused.
Or born to parents of people from the United States abroad.
United States citizen is a...
Or born on military bases in American military bases in other countries.
A federal citizen.
I think.
A American is a citizen of the Union States. Two different...
America is a continent? You're not wrong. Colloquially, it generally means America as in the United States, though. At least that's how it gets used in the United States.
I don't know why people don't understand that 1867 that they established the United States within the District of Columbia, and they created federal citizenship. So everything is federal. Y'all got to understand, all the laws that's enacted and all the federal statutes that's enacted, that was nothing but the District of Columbia. So when y'all looking at the Firearms Act, they made that act in what? I want to say 1967. Where they said if you are a convicted felon, you are prohibited from owning or possessing or any use of firearms. That was a federal statute that was enacted around that time. So guess who enacted that? The federal United States enacted that, because remember they said this: if you are a convicted felon, you violate federal law. Therefore, the police will put you in jail, because federal law states that anyone who's a felon cannot own a firearm. But anytime you operate outside of the federal territories, you can do anything you want.
The entire United States, all of its states, are within the purview of federal jurisdiction. Federal's at the top, then state, then local. Federal laws apply to all of these. State laws apply within the state. Local laws apply locally. It all trickles down. Federal laws apply everywhere in the United States and its territories.
Understand, like, people got to understand, you can do anything you want in America. You just can't be a damn slave. You got to understand the jurisdiction at hand. You got to understand how the courts operate. You got to understand how to get out the minimum contacts. You got to know how to be a free man, you know? If anybody need any advice, any consultation, anything like that, just hit me up.
This guy's so fucked. He's claimed that he has stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars via credit card fraud. So it'll be interesting to see if anything happens to him. Marcus Drake, what do you want me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary? Spite fence? I'll do my best.
Every one of these idiots who are like, oh, they're above the law. They try, how am I above the law if I get arrested? The only way to be above the law is you don't get arrested for what you did. So I'm not.
Here's a fun one. I know I'm still going to do yours, but Sovereign is in here. A person, body, or state vested with independence and supreme authority, the ruler of an independent state.
Not above the law. or I would not to be arrested and go to jail. Y'all don't know what that means. The cops are above the law. The cops are the sovereign citizens. They can speed.
Spite fence, a fence erected solely to annoy a neighbor, as by blocking the neighbor's view or preventing the neighbor from acquiring an easement of light.
Can steal, they can rob, they can kill without going to jail first, like we would.
Yes, cops are bad. What does this have to do with the fact that you're a sovereign citizen?
Citizen. If I was above the law, I wouldn't be arrested, and therefore...
So what's your argument then?
Okay, all you trolls out there, you know who you are. Of the people, by the people, for the people. Who's the people? The U.S. citizens or the Americans?
Those are the same thing. GamerG says this guy.
I'm going to jail!
Oh. There he is.
Because America, North America, and South America was created before the U.S. government was thought of.
Okay. Yeah?
Even before the North American government was thought of.
Okay.
Because in 1776, there was no government.
I mean, there was. It just wasn't an independent government.
In 1787, it wasn't the people of America that thought of the government. It was George Washington and all his buddies. And so them right there in 1787 created the North American government. But there
was already a government in place under the Articles of Confederation, but it wasn't working, so yes, they changed things and wrote the Constitution.
They did create it for control. In 1789, they created the U.S. Constitution.
That's when it was ratified.
North American Constitution is what it was. We just call it the U.S. Constitution now.
I mean, Canada doesn't fall under that, and Canada's in North America. Canada's Canada. It's a separate nation.
It's actually the North
They have their own constitution.
American government constitution. Because that's who created it in 1789. The U.S. government was not created until after 1865, when the North or the South, you know, the generally of the South, finally caved and surrendered because he was.
Sir, the United States existed before the Civil War. What do you think they were seceding from, if not the United States? What are you talking about?
Apparently, he was tired of seeing all his brothers and sisters of this country, because there was really no states then. I don't believe.
You don't think there were states in 1865? Thomas Jefferson's like, yes, glad that my time as president is over. Back to Monticello! Wherever that is. We should really start naming regions. This is difficult. Stone Corbell says, none of this is right, but like, even if it was, who cares? This is the law system we have now. Yeah, it's weird. This is weird.
But they were all of this one country. Brothers and sisters fighting each other to help the North American government gain control of the South.
Does he think that North America means the North, as in, like, north of the Mason-Dixon line? Does he think North America means, like, North United States? Oh my fucking god.
So they can create
God damn, South America has the best fried chicken.
what we know it as America. And then once they finally created all the other states, aside from the other 26 states, because I don't see how both can have 13 states each, 6 states each, you know. I don't see it. But they tyrannically went to war with the South to take the...
They tyrannically went to war with the South. Sir, what do you think that war was about? Do you want to see the secession documents and the constitutions of the southern states that seceded? They expressly say they seceded so that they can keep slavery as a part of their culture or whatever bullshit.
The South over because of the cotton. Wasn't over slavery.
It was absolutely over slavery. Discordant Vol says, "Sir, back away from the maps."
Because they did not want to end slavery.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Northern states already had gotten rid of slavery in certain states. What are you talking about? What?
George Washington did.
Does he think George Washington was in the American Civil War? Oh, this gets better the more we watch. Oh my god.
Lee did, but the other...
He thinks George Washington was in the Civil War. He said it, listen.
Did not want to end slavery. George Washington did, General Lee did, but the others did not want to end...
Lampita says, obviously they went to war over what the states should be called.
Created the North with George Washington, did not want to end slavery.
George Washington was dead, long dead by the time of the Civil War.
The rest of them had
The Civil War happened like a century after the American Revolutionary War, you fucking dunce. What are you doing?
Slaves. And George Washington wanted to end slavery.
Weird that he owned slaves. H-Bird says maybe when he says General Lee, he means the car from Dukes of Hazzard.
But who created this country? Who created the United States? Who created the North American Constitution? And then who created what became the U.S. Constitution, where all these others, 11 through 27, which I call 1 through 17, because those are amendments. The first 10 was written in 17.
The Bill of Rights are all amendments. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. That was intentional to show the amendment process working, to show how the amendment system should work. That's what the Bill of Rights is. It's 10 amendments to the Constitution.
89 to be the laws that came out of the American Declaration of Independence.
The American Declaration of Independence made no laws. The Declaration of Independence is an interesting historical document. It is not a legal document.
That North American Declaration of Independence that came out of that was written in 1774 and then signed in 1776. That's the North American Declaration of Independence. And then they created the U.S., or the North American Constitution, which is the first 10. That's what they created, the first 10. The rest never...
Is he familiar that the Constitution is not just the Bill of Rights? There's a whole document prior to that that spells out the structure of the federal government. God fucking damn it.
Never existed. And they created those on purpose to prevent government from creating all these other arbitrary laws, these traffic laws.
Sir, the Constitution literally spells out how the legislation should function so that it can pass new laws when need be. And the 10th Amendment also says that any rights or whatever that aren't specifically given to the federal government here are reserved to the citizens or the states respectively. So states are allowed to make their own laws. That is expressly in the Constitution.
City laws, county laws, and all this. Most of this is unconstitutional.
You are so wrong, it gives me psychic damage.
Because it states plain and simple, shall not be infringed and or violated.
That's the one thing he knows from the Constitution, because it involves his shooty shoots. Pew pew!
The highest laws of the land. The first 10.
He's never read the Constitution? I don't think he's read a cereal box. I don't know if this guy's literate.
Are the common laws of the natural man.
Common law doesn't mean that. Common law isn't... The Constitution isn't common law. It's the foundational document of the United States. Common law is when judicial precedent makes, like... It's when judicial precedence is set and then applies to other cases. That's what common law is. Discordant Volt says, I hate it when I accidentally create a set of laws. That's what Hammurabi did. He just got really high one day and he woke up and he was like, oh shit. They want to do what when you steal stuff? Whatever, I wrote it down.
Common laws of the land. That's the laws of the land. The rest that was created was amendments added into what they then called the U.S. Constitution.
Correct. The Constitution was written with the intent of amendments being possible. That's why the Constitution spells out how to make amendments.
Because they created all these other states after they took over the South to make up America, the North America. And then they invented Mexico to be Middle America, and then they invented Mexico to be Middle America. And
Sir, Mexico has its own history. I know you don't know it, but you sound insane. What are you talking about?
Invented Cuba down below to be South America. Invented Cuba down below to be South America.
Everyone remembers the South American Missile Crisis, right? Cuba is not in South America, just so you know. Discordant Vol says the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo has entered the chat.
So they can keep the North American name. But North American government was taken over and occupied after 1865. Because in order to win the war, the president of that time had to go in goods with Britain.
I'm putting him in the Hall of Shame. Hold on, let me get a screenshot. I think I'll just call this one SovCit History Lesson. I'll add this later, but I'm taking a screenshot now. Jesus, this is bad.
To get them to help win the war. And so they was able to get slaves in to fight, and was told, we will free you after you fight in this war. The South said, you want to be free, just fight for this land.
And the South was lying, just so everyone knows. The South was fucking lying.
To be free, and we'll let you free.
There were discussions in the South of offering basically that freedom for slaves to fight on their behalf. I don't remember if it ever actually happened. Not positive. I don't think so, though. And if it did, I can't imagine it ended well for those soldiers.
The North just brought them over as slaves and told them, you're going to do this and then you will be free. And then when the war was over, guess what happened to the black people? That government booted them aside and didn't take care of them.
Yeah, the South unfortunately won Reconstruction.
They treated them like they always did, like, you know, dogs.
Agreed? The treatment of black Americans after the Civil War to today has been an absolute shit show. I don't know why you're whataboutisming slavery, though. Slavery is, like, the root cause of many of these problems.
Slaves.
Marcus Drake says it did not because Southerns quickly realized the flaw in arming and training a bunch of angry slaves. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maggots. Because that's, you know, we see them movies and you're a soldier now and you maggot, see, you're lower, you're a slave. You're to be ordered around because you consent to it. How is that intelligent? To consent to be ordered around and then to be treated like shit when you're fighting for your country.
Rublum with a link.
Brain and brain, what is brain? It is controller. Is it
brain and brain? What is brain?
I mean, don't you trolls see this in your mind's eye?
We've watched this guy once before, but this is the best video I've seen by him for sure. Yeah, that was an original Star Trek clip from the episode Spock's Brain from, I think, season 3.
You're treated like shit when you join the army and all this other stuff. When you're joining it to fight for your country, to fight for what's right, to fight for...
Oh, that's cute. Do you think that joining the U.S. military means fighting for what's right? That's a shame.
Freedom. But in reality, they go over there and they fight...
As opposed to chattel slavery? Yeah, I assume he got fed a lot of lost cause bullshit in school. Would explain this personality a little bit.
Fight for oil. They fight for land. They fight for control for the U.S. government.
Okay, so you understand that. That's good.
They did the same thing to the South. And they had, and more of their soldiers were slaves than they were of the people of North America.
That's objectively not true.
Sheriffs, the U.S. government created them for the counties. And they created them to go after runaway slaves. The black slaves that would break free and run away. That's what they were created for in the...
Right, and that's wrong. That's wrong.
Beginning. White people was never ruled over by that. And who was in the government? White people. Who's in the government?
Oh, wait, is he just upset that he thinks white people are being treated quote-unquote like slaves? He thinks that his treatment, because he has to follow the law, is equivalent to someone who was forced into chattel slavery. Wow.
Government now and controlling it? White and black people now. And Mexicans and Indians and, you know, from the other country, India, and others. You know, from the and black people now. And Mexicans and Indians and, you know, from the other country, India, and others. Asians, they're all in the government.
This is just racism. This is literally just he's racist. This is literally just he's fucking racist. I have nothing to say about it.
And they're making all the laws, and they're...
Sir, the vast majority of people in the United States government are white men. Now, I don't think that's right. But it's the reality, and you clearly don't know it, you fucking idiot.
Trolling me and you, troll.
Wow, this is just straight up white supremacist shit. What a psycho.
You're under their control. You're a slave. At any point in time they want to, they can stick them torture cuffs that the Swedes made for the blacks back in the day when they needed them. Or didn't know they needed them. But the Swedes created them. U.S. found out about it, got them, and then they add chains to it.
Yeah, I'm
Really
probably a
have 'em
Chili fan.
chained in.
This Coordinate Vol says Swedish torture cuff sounds like fun, honestly.
And the Black Chain Gang. That was the first people putting chains, torture cuffs and chains.
Dude, manacles must predate chattel slavery, right? H-Baird says Swedish torture cuffs would be a great name for a power metal band. I feel like we looked it up and it turned out they were invented in, like, the Roman Empire or something, which isn't shocking. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
And it was done to show that they are oppressed, that they are slaves. You know, that's what cops and sheriffs and state troopers are here to be. You're an enslaver. You're going to follow my orders. You're going to comply, slave. You're a slave.
You understand that laws existed before the Civil War too, right? Like, laws existed. Police existed. Do you think that it was just anarchy? Like, and I mean that in the no state sense. Like, do you think it was just, like, no one had any rules prior to the Civil War?
You're going to comply. You're going to do what they say.
Pillories definitely predate handcuffs, yeah.
Or you're going to be treated as a slave and kidnapped and thrown in a dungeon. Because that's what they used to be known as in the past. Dungeons and gulags. They were never known as jails and prisons until America.
Let's look. Where does the term jail etymology? It comes from the Middle English, based on the Latin cavi, see cage. The word came into English in two forms: geole from Old French and geole from Anglo-Norman French. Geole surviving in the spelling of gaul, originally pronounced with a hard G as in goat. So it predates America by quite a bit, actually. Funny when you can... It's weird to me when people just say stuff like this. Like, where does he think... Does he just think people say stuff they feel? And that's how people get information? This all just feels like stuff he feels, you know what I mean? But I don't think he's ever looked it up. I think he just thinks if you feel something enough, it's true. Or, like, nothing's true and everyone just says what they feel anyway, so I don't need to say accurate things. I just need to say things that fit my worldview or whatever. It's wild.
Which is actually the USA, or the United States. Because you're on your birth certificate, you're claimed to be born in the United States.
If you were born in the United States.
In America. So you're not an American. The government...
Colloquially, yes, you are. There isn't really a distinction colloquially. In the United States, we say you're from the US, or we say you're American. Those are both terms that essentially mean the same thing.
It does not see you as an American. They claimed you on your birth certificate as is born in the U.S. So we're all slaves. You trolls are slaves. Everybody's a slave. I'm a slave. You know, of the people, by the people, for the people. Who's the people that it's of?
The population of the United States.
By and for. Huh? Where does it state that the American people are the of, by, and for? Where does it state that the U.S. citizens are the people that it is?
The 14th Amendment.
Of, by, and for. Tell me, trolls. Where's America? Where's American?
What is America?
In the U.S.
Send that to Matt Walsh.
Constitution. Where is it? It's in the Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of Independence is an illegal document.
Where is it in the Constitution?
Where is it in the Constitution that what? United States citizens are citizens? Again, the 14th Amendment.
'Cause you're a slave. And they don't...
No. It grosses me out that he's saying this, because sure, there's plenty wrong with the United States government. We talk about that pretty regularly. But don't compare your struggles to literal chattel slavery, which is objectively one of the worst things human beings have ever done to each other. Ever. Fuck off with that shit. Disgusting.
Don't uphold the Constitution no more.
It's like people who complain about wearing a mask and compare it to, like, the Holocaust or something. It's just so fundamentally disrespectful and gross.
They don't, defend it no more. They're not to know the laws of the Constitution. The Constitution is law. And what are they upholding? All this other arbitrary laws, these other bullshit to make money. You're a tax cattle. These fines and stuff is nothing but taxes.
Taxes are a different thing. That's why they're different words.
You want to drive like that? We're going to tax you. You know?
Yes, you do need to... There are taxes involved with driving on the road. You pay generally, I think there's a tax applied to gasoline. You're paying for, like, registrations and stuff that are fees that go towards the roads.
Oh,
Fenekagami says, bad news, chat. I lost my house bid. Got butted out by a buyer who didn't want a house inspection on an 82-year-old house. Anyway, looks like I'm on the hunt again. Sorry, I know what a pain that is. I've been through that. Hope you find something soon. Discordant Vol says he's using the framework of a logical argument without the requisite knowledge. It's like arguing with tent pegs.
You want to have that? We're going to tax you. You know, that's all you are, is a tax cattle slave. And I guess most of you's not going to see it. And not going to want to. Because your stupid job is to go on here to eliminate truth. You chose your side. So when you die, you ain't going to no heaven or to the kingdom or whatever. You're going to go be...
It makes me so sad that, like, you exist, you know? You're a human being, which is cool. Like, you get a short time to exist and know yourself and have self-awareness, you know? You're a thing that exists and knows that. That is one of the rarest things in this universe. It's wonderful in many ways. It can be scary and awful, but also, you know, it's pretty cool. And unfortunately, this guy's gonna spend his one life completely ignorant of everything around him and how basic things function. So sad.
With the devil. And guess what? The devil's gonna treat you worse.
I've done some favors for the devil, so, like, I think we're gonna be cool. If, like, I die and I go to hell, if hell exists, first of all, pretty fucked up. Second of all, I don't know. I can probably hang out with the devil. Do a co-stream with the devil.
Then your master's here on this plane. Because that's what you signed up for. In the end, to be tortured like an actual slave was tortured back in the day. You're a slave. And until all you black people out there see you are still a slave on American soil, instead of worrying about all this racist bullshit.
Gee, I wonder why they'd worry about racist bullshit.
You're a
fucking asshole.
A slave to the United States government under the legal name. That is your name put in all capital letters and assigned to you. Your social security number is your slave number.
No, It's used for identification purposes. That's about it.
My slave number. We're all numbered and marked. Now all they need to do is chip us. And whatever else. And you want to still be a slave? You say you're a slave? Well, you're right. There is slavery today. But I ain't enslaving you. It's the government. It's the blacks, the whites, the Asians, the Indians.
Why is he making this such a weird fucking race thing?
Whoever the fuck else is in this government. That's who's got you as a slave. It ain't the fucking white people. The motherfucking government. Wake up.
This guy's awful. What a terrible person. Oh my god. He's got so many fucking videos too. Holy shit. Oh no, look at all the fucking videos. Well, we have a new source of content, which is both... I like getting content, but it's unfortunate that this guy's the way he is. That's a shame. Anyway, we've been going for 4 hours. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been going longer lately. My ADHD meds have helped so much with allowing me to, like, stream for 4.5 hours instead of just 3. It's great. It's fucking great. Anyway, oh, Real Rad Hom was here earlier. Let's give a raid. Alright, have a great night, everyone. I will see you later. Love you too, Mr. Blast. And, oh, Pride's this weekend. I'm going to Pride this weekend. So if you're going to a Pride this weekend in Michigan, maybe we'll see each other. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow for probably a VHS stream or a movie stream or something. Something where we're going to talk about some fun media stuff, I think. So I'll see you then. Have a great night. If you were from any of the raids, give me a follow if you liked what you saw. You must have if you stuck around this long. Or you just wanted to see my tits. Either way, give me a follow. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. You're all cool. Alright. Later.